Guys, tonight we are going to do some talking. We will get into some other stuff quickly here, but we do have a guest tonight, so those of you that didn't hear that, let's get into races for the week so we can get on with this deal. This week, PTs, club race. They will be racing club races this weekend at PTs. So if you guys are wanting to get in on that or get in that area, get that done. Of course, PTs will have a great show as always. Go Fast. Go Fast is also club racing tonight. So make sure you guys are this weekend. So if you guys want to get out there. Points race out of Brickhouse. Brickhouse is points racing this weekend. The Makeup Shark races this weekend, the 20th, guys, down at Slideways. So they're going to try to get that done. They couldn't get it done enough to during the summer, so they got us in here in the winter. Down at Slideways, they were nice enough to let that happen, so that'll be a great race down at Slideways. Make sure you guys can get down there. If you can get down there and get that done. And then for 1RC and Losi guys up north, they are running the Kidman Classic. This is in memory of Dave's father, Ken Brinkman. Make sure you guys, if you are a 1RC guy or if you're in that area, make sure you guys get up there to support that deal. Okay? All right, guys, we're going to get, that's races for the week. I'll read off the topic of the week. I'll read off the question of the week. I'm going to get our guest in here so you guys can kind of, he can get an idea of what's going on too, see what's up, and he will let us know what he thinks of the topic of the week too. Let's see here. There he is. Tyler's up and running. So those of you, most of you guys know who this is. Tyler's up. He'll, we'll get him in on all of our normal topics, guys. Let him get his opinion from out there. Tyler, what's going on?
Oh, not a lot. Just trying to recover after a weekend at Dirt Floor Raceway doing the J Concepts Winter Indoor Nationals this past weekend or yesterday. So a little tired today. It was kind of a late night, but that's all right. It worked out well.
Yeah, it was a good. That was a good turnout out there, right? 215 or something like that.
Yeah, something just north of 200 entries. I think it was one of the. I think Hook said it was their second biggest J Concepts Oval Series race that they've ever had. So, which is nice. This close to Chili Bowl, a lot of people, they do want to get some track time before Chili Bowl, but then there's a lot of people that just are in just straight prep mode, so they just kind of don't race a lot before Chili Bowl comes up. So, yeah, it was a good turnout, especially in this area, for sure.
Looks like it. I didn't watch it on live IC. I just happened to jump in there tonight and see, what was going on, and it really did look like, excuse me, by the numbers, which obviously I watch a lot. It did look like you guys had a great turnout, so that's good. I mean, and it is a good warm up, right, for the Chili Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily the same track surface, but wheel time's wheel time. You got that radio in your hand, you're good to go.
Right.
No matter what you're doing.
Yep. All right, guys. Here's what we got. Tommy D put this up. The question of the week is, how much time does an average person dedicate to the hobby? With a lot of bigger races being 2-day events, travel time to rebuild cars between races. What's guys putting in? There's Tyler on there. Tyler's saying, who's that slow guy in the comments?
Burmeister, I believe you haven't beat me yet, so you can't talk like that.
Whoa, hey, there it is. Shots fired already. Nice.
Hey, in my opinion,
Right.
in my opinion.
Hell, that might be fact.
Respectfully.
But, yeah. So, what's everybody doing with that? What's the average time a person dedicates to this deal? Go ahead, Tyler. What do you think?
The average person, I would say, I don't know if you're racing on like a weekly basis, I'd say around 5 hours a week, like outside of track time, maybe. It kind of depends on what you got coming up. Some weeks are busier than others. Like for me personally, like if I've got a big race coming up, I'll usually be in here a couple nights a week, really getting after it and trying to get all my stuff ready. And that way it's prepared when I get there, so you're not behind the 8 ball when you show up. So I would say, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, a couple nights a week, maybe.
Yeah, Evan Smith says a lot. And Matt from Farmer City says too much. Yeah, guys, I talked to a lot of guys about it and the difference. And, from one place to another, you never know. You know what I mean? From the track owner side of it, we put in a ton too. Tyler's learning that. There's a lot of stuff going on the backside, even as an owner, not necessarily just as a racer.
Right. Yeah. Doing the whole running a track this year, I've been kind of thrown into the fire a little bit, learning how all that goes. So it can take up a good amount of time for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it is good. It is good to hear that from track owners, you know what I mean, or operators, because the thought of people understanding what it takes and then coming to the track on a Friday night or a Saturday night or a Sunday and bitching the whole day because something ain't perfect. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
as a track owner, we hear it too. You know what I mean? Everybody hears it, no matter what. Nobody's better
Yeah.
than any other track owner, honestly. Well, you don't want to say somebody's better than another track owner. What you want to say is everybody has the same fights, right? You have to take care of them, and as racers, we have to understand when I go to a track, I understand that, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of guys don't understand the amount of work it takes there.
Right. It's also been kind of cool too to go to races and like this weekend, like I've known the guy that runs Dirt Floor. I've known him for a long time. We've probably been racing with each other for the better part of 15 years or so. So it's like just coming from my standpoint and kind of knowing what it takes to get an event done and what the prep was like and things like that. Like I can go to him and be like, hey, do you need some help? What do you think about this? I know you guys are thinking about doing this way, but just hey, what do you think about just doing it like this?
Right.
And it's probably different coming from somebody else that runs a place than it is just some racer that's just like, hey, we need to do it this way because it's how it works over here. It's just like it's a different look when I'm at other racetracks now. I'm just like, hey, maybe I can just go give my 2 cents about how, hey, this kind of works for us. Maybe you would want to know about it. Maybe you don't. I don't care, but I'll just still tell you.
Yeah, and that's
So it's just kind of a different mindset while you're there.
agreed. I think that's a good position for people to have with track owners, right? Track owner to track owner, you should be able to go to that guy and just say, hey, what do you think of this?
Yeah, and it can't come off as bitching because that if that person knows you and knows that you're doing what they're having to do, it's just like, oh, they're just trying to help.
Yeah.
Whereas other people, it could just be like, yeah, you can take that shit over there.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Let's get the comments real quick. Drew Spurgeon, where you out of, Drew? Where's he from?
He's an Arkansas guy.
Arkansas.
He's another velocity guy.
First time on here. Good. Jump in and good to see you in the comments. He says that's one sexy ass guy in his opinion.
He's got to be talking about you.
I know. What's up? Sean says he's out of Brick House. He says roughly 2 hours per car each week. General maintenance, 20 to 30 per week as a track owner. Sean races a lot and owns the tracks.
Right.
Yeah, there's a ton of work there, man. That's crazy. Joe Payne, a.k.a. Traxxas Joe with Rogue Race Concepts, he says you don't want to know the answer when you're designing and building your own stuff.
I can only imagine.
And I kind of know a little bit of that, Joe, because we talk a lot, but being a sponsor of the track and becoming a better friend and understanding how you're going through things and we talk about things. Yes, I can understand that. That's crazy. I'm sure the number, you know what I mean, of what it would take to do that. Alyssa's in here in the comments again, the guys this week. If anybody wants to say hi, you don't have to. She's just here for attention. That's my oldest boy's girlfriend. So,
Nice.
But that's what's up. What's up? Alonzo Gonzalez is in. What's up, man? I haven't heard from you in a while. Good to see you on here tonight. So, guys, I think the amount of time spent is different depending on what level you're on. I was not that guy in the beginning. We were bashers. We were just trying to figure it out with a bunch of slashes, and then as you get more and you figure out more, and for me, when the kids started racing more, I got more involved in it. So that brought mine up some, you know what I mean? How much I had to work on them. So. But yeah, so it was good. Chris Stagner says, I've been sucking so bad on the last 2 seasons, it's got me ready to get out of the sport. Don't do that, Chris. Ask for help, buddy. There's plenty. Chris Stagner.
It's like golf, man. All you need is that one good round.
Yeah.
You're back.
Agreed, 100%. Just get out there and get it done. Chris, you race almost every weekend down there at Slideways. Get in there and find somewhere, get you some testing time in and try some different shit and get stuff together. You know what I mean? Kevin Smith says 1 hour per night in the Speed Palace, 2 to 3 nights per 2 to 3 per night. Meeting any visual of the car and rearranging show. Yeah, imagine that.
Oh yeah.
Drew Spurgeon
Yeah,
says, "What's y'all's
I get
opinion on tracks? Good going to spec tires, good or bad?" Man, tire turmoil.
That's a whole show right there.
Yeah, we used to have a section of that, and I got tired of talking about it. Drew, here's my thought on it: is at my track, I'm running 3. I'm running for buggy based stuff. Most everything buggy based is going to be the Quasi, the Sprinter, and the Array. And I think 3 tires is a good number because you can try different things with different times that'll work better. Open tire, I know. Are you guys open tire out there still, Tyler?
Yeah, we're open tire in all classes except for midget and mud boss. Midget and mud boss, we kind of control the tire just because those should be your economy classes. Those should be the ones where you shouldn't have a whole lot to worry about. It should just be, hey, I can show up to the track and I'm running on the same stuff everybody else is, and I can just race. I don't have to play tire games. So yeah, we're open tire for everything but midget and mud boss.
Okay. Yeah.
And we allow a couple. Like we give some like for midget, for example, it's you either run the J Concept Sprinter or you run the Quasi Speed tires. And we just let the racers decide. You can run whatever compound you want, but I mean, everybody's just kind of on the same compound because it's what works on our track. But you got, I never wanted to like shoehorn it into one tire for a class because, say you have, those parts of the season, especially like when we're coming up for Chili Bowl, when stuff can be out of stock for months because everybody's buying them all up. I didn't want to have people not be able to get a hold of products so they can race. So we give them a couple options. And then for like the Mud Boss stuff and the Traxxas modified stuff like that, like those tires, you can find those tires anywhere. So it works out for that being one tire. But yeah, like a couple of spec classes works out well for us. But everywhere else, we try to maintain our track as open as possible.
Yeah,
just let people just get it out.
Well, we did that this year. We kept open tire, and some guys said that they didn't want to race because of open tire. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's different up in your part of the world because a lot of my Velocity teammates are from up your way, and they're like, oh yeah, at all of our races, it's just everybody runs Sprinters because that's the spec tire, and I'm like, that's wild. But on one hand, it's less to worry about. I mean, it's just that's the tire everybody's using, so you don't have to play tire games.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, Drew, that's a can of worms that we could talk about for days, and everybody has their own opinion about that, right? I mean, tires are probably one of the most important things, but also one of the craziest things that you can get into and get wrapped up into. Mark Larson says maintenance is very important to prepare at the track. What do you got?
It looks like Rick Taylor asked how popular Mud Boss is in my area, and it's actually very popular down here in Oklahoma and Texas. There's a couple of tracks in this area that'll pick up, 10 to 15 of those on a club night, and at the big races you're looking at 20 plus. So it's a pretty big class here. The Traxxas modified stuff is also starting to pick up in our area too. So a lot of people are going to those kind of the more spec classes where everybody's kind of on the same thing, which is great. I mean, that's what keeps people getting into the sports. Yeah, I'm all for it.
We call them TRX modifieds at our track. It's just a Traxxas modified, but we couldn't say Mud Boss because we knew the story behind the Mud Boss name when they came.
Yeah.
We didn't get involved in all that bullshit. So we went TRX modifieds, what we called them, because they were all modified, and we went and we only have about 3 or 4 of them come out, and we are actually going to transition those to be novice cars only, unless you want to bump them up to run in our, what we call B-Mod.
Yeah.
So, but
we had a handful of people show up with those that wanted to, people bought them that are decent racers, and they were like, well, I don't want to run novice with these, and they're like, oh, okay, well, you can run with the SC mods. And we actually bought one for us as a track car for our board to kind of promote the class and whatever, and we would take turns every week. One of us would run it, and we just run with SC modified, and we just allowed it to be, open tire and put adjustable arms on it, basically to turn it into an SC modified. But we had that as an option for people if they wanted it, and it worked out well. I mean, it's competitive.
Well, a lot of people in the beginning, right, in our area did a B mod. They ran a Traxxas B mod, right? Well, when you run a
Yeah.
Traxxas B mod, what is it? It's a Traxxas modified. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what they
Uh-huh.
did. So, um, Kevin says to Chris, reach out. We will help. And yes, there's plenty of people to help, Chris. If you need something or anything we can do here, let us know. The guys at Slideways will help you. And I understand, man. Some days it's tough to ask that, man. Believe me, number one, I'm not asking shit, but you have to sometimes, right, buddy? And if you need to, grab a hold of a guy. He'll help you. Promise you. Michael McNichol says, my stuff don't ever see maintenance. Their girls' cars get it, though. It's usually a Friday through Saturday push for Sunday. Yeah. I understand that, too. Like I said, the kids, man, I always made sure my kids' stuff was right and then, deal with whatever they were. Rick says, I wish they would have taken off in Iowa, yet only one track races. Yeah, Rick, it's hard. It's hard to get a new class started. You know what I mean? Or something picked up and moving on. You know what I mean? We've been fighting the mini mod craze, or not craze, for ever since I've been open. We ran mini mods, LC Racing based 4-wheel drive, 1/14 scale modifieds for ever since I've been open for the last 4 or 5 years. And you get about 5 or 6 a night, and that's all you get. And then we end up with 10 at the Fall Brawl, and I've sold six this year, and one more changed hands to a guy that'll race it a little bit more often outdoors. So there's a chance we got 7 more of them to run around here. So we can't complain about that. That's a pretty good bump in that number. Mini mods are the best. Somebody's going to bitch that I didn't say it. So that's how we roll. Just nip it before it gets going.
Right.
So anyway, so that's where we're at, guys. I think it's good. I think it's a good thing to have. I think maintenance is very important, but man, I know how it gets. People, you get busy, life happens. Guys don't have time to get in it, and there they are. So, all right, let's move on to topic of the week, and this is going to be kind of a touchy one. It's funny that me and Tyler were talking off air privately about some stuff, and this is going to kind of jump in there. He'll probably understand when I get there, but there it is. Racer etiquette. Racer etiquette. All right, guys. And there's nothing that happened, guys. It's just something that I like to get back to every so often just to talk. But it's really, really funny that we were talking off air about some stuff. And it's just funny that, and I didn't even think about that as being the topic when we were talking. But very much so. Guys, I don't even know where to start. You got to remember who's watching you when you're on a stand, Kevin Smith says, oof. Yeah. You got to remember who's watching you when you're on the stand, guys. You got to understand that there's kids, there's others, there's people that aren't in the hobby as much. So you have to understand that, and you have to make sure that you take care of your business, right? A guy, you're a slow guy on the track, and the leader's coming. They call the leader's coming. Hold your line, or JB Craighead says, is that an NA beer, Tyler?
It sure ain't.
Sure ain't. Nice. So, but yeah, that's the, hold your line or, talk on the stand. You know what I mean? And then let him know, hey, I'm going to go high. Or if he says, hey, go high. You know what I mean? Like, talk on the stand. I think that's the biggest thing. What brought this up is about a couple of people had said something about it. Like one of them, Rick had put something on about a kid wearing earbuds on the driver's stand. As a track owner, I don't think that's cool. Like you need to hear me and you need to hear your other drivers.
Right.
So that, excuse me, that was one of them that came up. And there was some other stuff too, but it's just something that we need to talk about every so often. So we are. Kevin says, not just on the stand, your demeanor when you're back at your pits too. Yes. I guess how you carry yourself.
You don't need to be going back to the pits and throwing your car into the pits and everything. That's a bad example. Everybody, I mean, I'm guilty of it. I've done it once or twice, but you try not to be that person when you're at the track. And like you said, there's people watching all the time. It could just be somebody that you wouldn't even think was just kind of watching what you were doing. There's always somebody that is watching, and it doesn't necessarily, I wouldn't say it just follows you forever, but like people are, what have you done for me lately kind of thing. It's, if somebody is to receive a question about you on down the road a couple months later when you had a blow up at the track, and somebody that saw it was asked the question about that certain person, like the one thing that's going to stick out in their mind is it's either going to be like, oh yeah, that guy's pretty quick, or oh yeah, he's pretty hot tempered. Like he throws his car around a lot and drives through the track to hit people and whatnot. Because it's just, it's drama. It's what people think of first. It's never, oh, he's a great dude. He's a great guy. Yeah. He helps everybody out. It's like, oh, this one time I saw him launch his car across the track trying to take out another SC mod.
Yeah. How that works.
That's what people remember.
And it is. It is. You're going to remember the bullshit, right? You're not going to remember the, hey, man, he's a great guy and he helped me with this and he helped me with that. You know what I mean? Or this one time he helped me do something. You're going to remember the fact that this guy is taking somebody else. He's coming across the track after you. He's running you hard in the corner. Whatever that is. The other thing is Sam says he's guilty of throwing his car. Yeah.
We all are. We've all been there.
Yeah, and I think it is about that. Like, I think everybody's thrown their car at some point. I've seen mini mods, my buddy Scuba and Jeremy both. I've seen them both throw their mini mods across my yard. I mean,
you can get some distance on those things if they're 14 scale.
Yeah. So it's cool, but it's just, I understand it. I understand frustrations. There was we were at Jake's, and guys come out the stand arguing about getting hit. And I said, hey, guys, you just remember, we're out here playing with fucking toy cars. Let's go, And I'm not, those that were there probably know it doesn't matter. I'm not calling people out. I'm just saying that happens. I understand emotions get high, but you have got to think about that, right?
At a higher level, too. I mean, you've got guys that are all, like, for instance, in the A last night in Outlaw Sprint, our fast lap, everybody from 1 through 8 is all within a tenth of a second. Like, we're all fighting for the same real estate. Like, unless it is obviously blatant. Like, usually when you get ran into at a higher level, it's not on purpose. It's we're all fighting for the same, like, 1 foot section of track. When we go into the corner, out of the corner, down the straightaway, like, we're all looking for the same spot. And somebody makes a slight bobble, it's like that car that's a tenth behind you has got nowhere to go. So I think as long as you just understand that kind of stuff, like as long as it's not super obvious and blatant, like it just happens every time you're around a certain car, like it's probably just somebody's mistake. And yeah, you can be hot about it, but what's that going to get you? It's not going to change the outcome of the race.
Yeah, there's no race director going to change it, right?
No. I mean, there's been times where I've race directed where like somebody's behind somebody and they're getting like super squirrely, or if it's somebody battling for a position and they go too hot into a corner, it's still a mistake. They didn't mean to do it, but they ran somebody over. But immediately you're like, hey, wait, and then give them position back and then go.
Yeah.
And I think so the race director can kind of handle some of that, and it goes that kind of stuff like that. The race director handling things like that on the microphone during the race, like, kind of sets the precedent. If you've got somebody that can do that on a regular basis, like, it goes back to people watching what you're doing. Like, people see that and they're like, oh, if I happen to accidentally do that, maybe I should wait. Maybe that's the etiquette that I need.
Right.
So it's a trickle down effect.
Let's see. Drew Spurgeon says, ha ha ha, there it is. I assume I know. I'm assuming that's that.
I have no idea. What Drew's talking about.
Yeah. Kevin says, right across the pipe. Rick Taylor says, I think we've all done that at a time or another. My last time when a guy ran into me, accusing me of costing him the win. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you either see really good racing or you see some really shitty racing a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, we had some of the best buggy street stock and 13.5 racing this year here at the track, late model wise, because we ran them all season, and those guys got together good and raced well together. So
Oh yeah.
Kevin says, I can honestly say I've never thrown a car. Last thing I want to do is break something worse than I've already have. Yeah, you're breaking enough on the track the way you drive, Kevin.
Oh, Kevin, if you've never done it, you don't know that when you throw your car, you throw it very precisely so that you don't break things.
You better learn that deal, huh?
You learn exactly how to throw it. We're not out here football spiking it.
Chris Stagner says, everyone watches me and takes bets on what lap I'm going to choke, LOL. I've never thrown a car indoor, but I threw a couple back in my truck outdoors, but only twice in 6 years. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good record, I guess, Chris.
Yeah, that's pretty.
not a bad ratio.
That's pretty standard. Yeah. I'd say I'm right around that same amount.
JB said this mofo knows exactly what he's talking about. Don't let him fool you.
I don't even know who JB Craighead is, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Kevin says etiquette. I will always run you the way you run me, and I always find a good spot to give the leaders room.
I wish everybody was like Kevin.
Yeah, I think a lot of, just to get off on that subject a little bit, I think a lot of people don't know where to give people room.
I mean, usually in oval, the safest place is usually like on the straight. Just go high on the straight.
Going in,
or if you've got the line to be able to do it. Like if you have, like if we're all in like a blue groove line that's only a car and a half wide. I mean, it's kind of tough, right? But so at that point, you would probably choose the straight, like coming out of 4, coming out of 2, like just, hey, I'm going to go a little wide here, duck to the inside. If they're good enough, they can do it. But yeah, if you've got the line, like just really anywhere, if the guy behind you is that fast and that good, you should be able to give them a car's width, and they should be able to get by.
Yeah, and I think that's probably as much of it as anything. If you're going to do anything, I think if you keep a line or you say, hey, I'm going to go low, like in the straightaway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually, because most guys are footballing it, right? I mean,
yeah.
So I say, hey, I'm going low in the straight, you know what I mean? But if a guy's stupid fast around you, and we're talking probably more spec stuff than the top end of the mod guys, right? The top end of the mod stuff. But or in the lower main, sometimes in the mod, you might get into this situation, you know what I mean, where a guy screws up and he gets back there and he's stupid fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might be something that happens too. But yeah, I think talking on the stand's probably one of the biggest things you'll ever have.
Yeah. And if you want to see, if you want to get an idea of what should be done, like go to your track and watch the fastest heat of your fastest guys and watch them do it. Most of them, it will be like you won't hear a word on the stand. The most you ever hear when I'm on the stand or with guys that I race with all the time, even at bigger races, is right here. That's all you hear. Right here, right here, right here. And that other person just knows they're going to go a little wide, tuck in. That's it. And I mean, it's a simple one of those right there.
Yeah, that's probably that's like
you watch those.
Two-seater
You watch those guys do it. Oh, for sure. Yeah, you watch those guys do it. You'll learn exactly, like, because some people just think it means like, oh, I got to pull up and stop. Like, no, you just got to give them a little bit of room. That's all it is. And a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm just going to be in the way. I'm just going to be in the way. I've been in the way before. It happens, brother.
Yeah.
Some days it's just not your day. Like you just, hey, here it is, right here, and they know.
Let's get some comments here. Dustin Cooper says we're playing with toy cars for stickers. No need to get pissed off. I agree, Dustin, but it happens. Emotions get high, and you know what I mean. We're racers.
Yeah, we're all competitive. That's why we don't do this just for Sunday drives.
Andrew says my street stock has taken a couple flights after racing. Yeah. I mean, it happens.
Those fly well. They catch a lot of air.
Yeah. Kevin says goes back to talking on the stand, saying go low. Sam's reply to Kevin's etiquette. He said talking about always run you the way you run me. Sam says Kevin got to go. I've got a C main at PTs that says differently. Evidently, he thinks.
Well, you said it right there. It's the C main, brother.
Yeah.
You ever seen a clean C main? I haven't.
C main's a little rougher.
Yeah.
Mark Larson's agreeing with Kevin saying, talking on the stand. Kevin also says the Sam feed a wheel, eat a wheel. And that was close racing, tit for tat. I mean, you're back there, you're lucky, you know what I mean? That if you get a good one back there, you're doing good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, really, you're doing good. There's a hell of a group of guys that you're racing if you get a good one down that low. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Drew says, what I see a lot of times is the faster guys come up on a slower car so quickly the slower car doesn't know what to do or gets nervous and usually makes a mistake and collects both of them. Common mistake at my track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think closing rate, I think somebody that hasn't been in that situation a lot, no different than big car, doesn't understand the closing rate. They say they're coming, and we mean they're coming. You know what I mean? Like, They don't understand that. Rod
Rippey, the only way you're going to learn stuff like that is just to keep yourself in it. Just keep doing it.
Well, I mean, some of us may never remember that we all started there. We were all a C-Main bandit at some point, right?
Absolutely.
So a lot of guys that get into this, and you might have been 12 when you were a C-Main bandit, and you're now 45, and you've raced this whole time, and that's, different. You're starting to get back down to the B's and the C's. But that's the difference. You know what I mean? Like, you have to remember that we all did it. We all learned, and you can't get away from that. Rod Rippey, first time commenting. Thanks for commenting. Yeah, just don't panic. Yeah, that's the best thing to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Understand where you're at. Kevin Smith says Q main at PTs are an A calipers times. PTs has a really good base.
Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about PTs. One of these days I'm going to make it up that way to do some racing.
Yeah, you have to come up. That'd be a good time.
Yes, sir.
Kevin says, shit, I'm excited for a D with 12 cars in the class. There's racing after C-Mains. There is racing after C-Mains, Rick, but it takes time to get to an A-Main, I guess is how I got to put it. I'm a C-Main bandit. D-Main, E-Main. If I were out there, I promise you I wouldn't be in the front, but we would still race and have a good time. But maybe the amount of technique isn't there, I guess would be the easiest way to put that. To understand what people are doing.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But
that goes back to just keep doing it. I mean, a lot of people will get in the situation where they're constantly going to, bigger races or even at a local level and they're making B's and C mains and whatnot. And they just, man, I'm never going to get there. And they just quit. It's like, brother, the only way you're going to get better is if you just keep racing. It's natural progression. The more you race, the better you're going to get. The more you're going to be comfortable driving in traffic. You just got to keep after it.
Yeah. And the other thing is just like that, racer etiquette. Whenever you come off and a guy has rubbed you wrong in the C main, don't be a dick. Right? I mean, we're talking racer etiquette here, right? So whenever a guy rubs you wrong and you're wrecked in the C main, don't be a dick. Hey, you get wrecked, you get wrecked.
Unfortunately, it's part of it.
Yeah, Sam says, Kevin, we both know I've never fed you a wheel, but I'll remember that tit for tat next week.
Get it on camera.
Yeah, I want to watch this deal.
Yeah, get it on camera.
Make it late in the race, guys. I probably won't be at PTs until late on Friday night, or on Saturday night. I got a basketball game. Chris says, if you make A-mains at PTs, you're doing very good in mod. Yes, 100%, Chris. But, kind of not really shifting gears, but get off on a little bit of that. Okay, I've said it here forever. If you're the best at Kempton Speedway, which everybody knows I call my track a little shithole, great, you're an A-main bandit here. You're winning them all, right? You better go to PTs. You're only as good as a competition. And I'm not saying my competition here at this track is shit, but there's a lot of good people out there. You might, instead of having to fight through 3 good guys that we have come here most weeks, you got to fight through 10 that are decent, pretty good.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. You know what I mean? And the smaller the track, the harder that is to get guys into that.
You want to figure out just where you're at. talent-wise, go to a big race. You'll find out real quick.
Yeah, and if you get beaten at big race, guess what? It doesn't mean you're no good or you suck or
No,
you know. It means they're a little better than you are.
you got work to do. It gives you something to strive for.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's so. Yeah, I think it's good, guys. I think racer etiquette is something that unfortunately comes up about twice a year, and I bring it on myself because I want the best racing. I want some kid that's standing there, like at my track. You know, you guys that have been here know I'm in town, literally in town. People walking by, people pulling up on four wheelers, people pulling up on golf carts, hanging out on the street watching this race, and they see some dude get off the stand and throw his car. They're going to be like, or fighting on the stands, or threatening people at the pits. One, I've never had that happen. I've had some guys have some talking tos at the track, and that's fine. But eventually, when you do that, it's going to turn into more than what you want, right? I mean, at some point. So just make sure if we're trying to grow the hobby that we take care of all of that. You know what I mean? Take care as much as you can so people enjoy coming and watching the races and enjoy coming back and seeing what we're doing instead of just thinking we're a bunch of assholes. You know what I mean? And it's a private good old boys club that they can't get into.
Yep. Now, first impressions are everything, man. And sometimes you only get one shot.
Yeah, because this isn't cheap no matter what class you get into.
No.
So if you spend, I mean, in my opinion, the two cheapest classes are probably low C Sprint and Mini Mod for here in this region. We do a Mini Mods for $400, almost ready to run. So you got to put controller and receiver and radio with it and your transponder.
Right.
But still, if you're an asshole, that's still $400 in today's age. Isn't always easy to come by.
No, not at all. And if they're just in there testing it out, maybe want to bring their kids out, and they come out to race once and see a bunch of people acting a fool, they're not going to want to bring their kids out there. Hell, they might not even want to come back themselves. So, yeah, you just got to try to maintain. We've dealt with a few things here and there at Taylor Park, so I get it. I understand. But usually it's nipped in the bud pretty quick.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, yeah. Well, you're in Illinois, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't. The gun laws there are a little different than they are down here.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't spout off of the mouth down here.
Right. Yeah, we don't have that. We don't have that. We don't have that to contend with. But
yeah.
But me as a track owner, I don't allow it a lot. You know what I mean? I just, hey, let's go. You know what I mean? And I'll be at another guy's track and say the same thing. They're running the race and a guy's getting stupid. I'm like, hey, boys, just relax.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So, and it's, I mean, I'm not a big guy, but I'm big enough that I don't have to worry about too much. You know what I mean? The intimidation factors there a little bit sometimes too. So.
Oh yeah. Plus you got somebody with a microphone. You just get a little loud on the microphone. Usually everybody's like, "Oh, okay."
Well, and like you said earlier, you start that precedence early, right? You know what I mean? As a racer or a track owner, right? As a racer, just be cool. As a track owner, don't let that shit happen. You know?
Yeah, you let it happen once, and then somebody else that's been thinking about getting after somebody is just like, "Oh, they just let that thing go around here." It's like, "Nah, brother, this ain't the Chili Bowl. You can't fight on the front straight."
Yeah,
you can't do that here.
We had we run two 1.5-inch pieces of pipe around the inside of our track, so you can't cut the track.
Right.
So you have an inside wall. So we don't have that as much of coming across. You know what I mean? Because you can't get in the infield.
Yeah, we're the same way.
Yeah, so we don't. But it sucks. I don't know. It's just not good racing at the end of the day.
Nah.
JB says, Sam, I'm formally requesting pictures of you two hugging it out when it happens. Why? Well, you should be there, JB. You should be taking the picture. Rod says, I don't see many people being an ass in oval. Off-road, you see a little bit more.
He's not wrong.
Really? Just sound not
off-road is it's a different animal, man. The people, I don't know, it just seems like when you turn right and jump stuff, it makes everything just a little more heightened. It's pretty wild.
A little more aggressive?
It's a little more aggressive, for sure.
You guys have both, right?
We don't, but I do both.
Oh, okay.
I run 8 scale, 10 scale off road and oval, so I kind of get it from I kind of see it from both sides. But yeah, I agree with Rod. It's way more prevalent in off road than it is in oval. Oval usually it's like everybody's pretty laid back for the most part. I mean, it's just like being at the real track. We all, I mean, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us that do oval now probably grew up at the dirt track, the real dirt track when we were kids or younger. And so it's like that's the vibe you want to have out there. You want to just be fucking cool and laid back. And some dude's got his grill in the back of his truck over there. You're drinking a couple of cold pops, and everybody's just chilling. That's the kind of vibe you want out there. But dude, off road, none of that. It is business.
Really?
As soon as you walk in, dude, it's serious business as soon as you walk in the door.
Man,
It's wild.
How fun can that be, though?
Man, it used to not be like that, honestly. When I started racing like 20-something years ago, whatever long it's been, like racing was pretty laid back then. I mean, there was a lot of racing that was going on, and everybody was pretty chill. But I think just I think the speeds changing has really done a number on the stress level of everybody. Like everything's much faster now. Everything's much higher traction. Everybody's just way quicker. It puts more people on pace, especially like carpet off-road. Carpet off-road, you literally can throw your car down, and it's probably if you know what you're doing, you're probably pretty close to on pace with everybody else, because you don't have to figure out the tire compound or the tread pattern you need or your setup as much. I mean, at the higher level, yes, you can still look for tints and stuff here and there, but I just think everybody being much faster and the traction levels being much higher just puts everybody at a much more heightened sense when they're at the track. And so off-road's it gets a little testy.
Talking about track surfaces, dirt oval, what do you prefer?
I'm more on I like the lower side of traction. Like I don't mind racing on super high bite. It's refreshing every once in a while, but I like to just going back to being at the old track, I want to be laid back. Like I'd rather just throw some pin tires on my car and just run on some loose dirt. Like that's fun. That's fun for me. But it just seems like oval's generally kind of moving that way too. It's moving more of I think the compounds of the rubber have just gotten better over the years, where they're just producing way more traction. So they're, doesn't matter what kind of dirt you got, you're going to lay down some rubber. You're going to run through some tires. But yeah, I kind of prefer medium traction, like what the Chili Bowl is before it gets too many runs on the track and it gets high bite. Like I like just a freshly rebuilt track with a couple of heats on it, where you still got some loam, but it's got a line.
Yeah, that's Jason Van Ice probably put it best here. He said he considers ours loose but packed, right? So we're not high bite by any means. We dug a hole. That's what's there's what's there. I didn't put no dirt in here. So with that being said, it gets more high bite as the night goes on, but it just gets packed in more and more, and that's why. The question came up a couple of weeks ago about how loose do we want to start making stuff? Do we want people to have to drive more, getting a little bit more loose where guys have to drive? Or are guys okay with, do they just still want that record-setting time, every lap?
Right. Yeah, just as long as you got something that's consistent, that's really all you need. Whether it's high bite or loose, I mean, as long as it stays consistent, you're giving the racers what they need.
Well, let's get into this here. This seems like one hell of a conversation in the chat here. Kevin talking to Sam. I'm not photogenic. Plus, that would be entered as evidence against on that wheel for wheel deal.
Mm-hmm.
Chris says, you're probably a big teddy bear. Yeah, when I need to be, Chris. When I don't need to be, I don't have to be. Sam says, Matt, bring 2 additional Speedos next week so Kevin and I can have a photo op in the infield after. Well, I don't know about Matt's Speedo. That fan submission last week was enough for me. Sam says, I'm just here talking shit so I can live rent free in Kevin's head. That's a scary place to be.
Seems to be working.
Seems to be a scary place. You'll probably want to move out within the next couple of days. So, but yeah, What are you guys for track surface?
We're generally more like, I would say, like somewhere around like low to medium bite. We can get high bite depending on the amount of cars we have on the surface, but I would say like medium bite. I wouldn't say we're super high bite. We're not running like slick clays or anything like that. So at any given weekend, we're on, like J Concepts green or blue compound, maybe sometimes silver, depending on the car count and how much rubber gets laid down, temperature, things like that. We're an outdoor track like you are. So, I mean, you know how the sun plays,
Yep.
amount of heat, wind, all that stuff factors in. You wouldn't think of it, being such a small surface area. Yeah, the sun, the wind, the temperature do quite a bit on even a little small dirt tracks. Yeah, I'd say medium bite. We're running super soft and soft compound pin tires, and we're not a track where you've got to like do a bunch of stuff to your tires before you hit the track. Like you just mount them and go. And you can maybe foam bust them, but that's really about all you need.
What do you when do you run your mod races? The end of the heats, the end of the night, or do you run them in the middle?
No, we run them at the end.
Why do you
We
do
just
that?
the track usually has the traction level that those higher speed cars need at that time.
It just came up last week. That's why I was.
And you put all the open sprint guys out on the freshly groomed, freshly watered, kind of muddy track. They are going to bitch.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's there, but we talked about being in the middle. You know what I mean? Like some guys, the question came up last week is why does the mod always run at the end? Because the statement came about that, talking about marshaling and nobody ever marshals for the mod guys because there ain't none left, right? Everybody's already gone home by the time they run. So with that said, I wondered why they, I've thought the same thing. I thought it was, there's enough traction there. It's smoothed out. You know what I mean? I mean, it's probably one of the best surfaces you're going to get in the night by the time it gets to the end of the mains. So
right. Yeah, and it's not to say that the track wouldn't be good if we decided to run in the middle of the heats, but I mean, it's just kind of, for me, it's always been, that's the premier class. You don't go to a World of Outlaws event or a high limit event and they ain't out there running the sprint cars first, and then you got factory stocks and modifieds to finish out. They know nobody's going to stick around, so
yeah,
it's
just
that's
weird.
Probably it.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from too, the big car side of it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Kevin Smith says, always going to be about you, bud, not living in my head, LOL. Shane Wheeler, first time on here. Thanks for commenting. He says, hey TK, and the groove cleans up later in the rounds, and I agree with that. I think it gives maybe the most groove, right? Usually,
yeah.
You might get lucky and get two. You know what I mean? Or a place to make a move, right?
Right. Yeah, we try to stay on top of it here too, to where we try to keep the maintenance up as much as possible throughout the round, so we can give a good wide groove, make it racy. You never want to get to the point where it's just like one line around the entire track and everything else is just not manageable, because that just makes for not good racing. Just follow the leader at that point.
Right. Wait for somebody to fuck up to make a move.
Yep.
Otherwise you're done. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's like PT's tearing it up in between rounds.
Do they really?
Yeah. With the Harley rake.
I wish we had one of those so bad.
And they do it with a handheld, just a walk behind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and there's a jump on there. They got a video of it, or Jake Howard put a video up too on his TikTok. But yeah, I mean, he tore it up last time, rolled it in a little bit, and here we go.
Right. They've got the track from the videos I've seen. It's not like super small, but it's smaller, right?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's probably average for around here, in my opinion. I don't think it's any bigger or smaller than most. You know what I mean? But it's not it's nothing stupid.
Yeah, right. We need like equipment, because we've got our track's like chili bowl size.
Oh yeah.
And we have a big track.
Yeah. Ryan says Tyler and his crew run a great racetrack. Wish we lived closer. 3-tier driver stand. When we went, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Old Mr. Thiedens. Haven't seen him in a hot minute.
Yeah. He's on here about every week.
He's a solid dude. I like Ryan a lot.
Yeah, Ryan's a great guy.
He came down for him, and a lot of the guys from up your way came down for, it's a touchy subject, but the Elite Series, back when Tony was running it.
Yep.
They came down for that race that we had here that year, and it was a good time having all them down here.
Yeah.
It was really cool. Got a lot of exposure to the guys from the Midwest. They finally made it all the way down here, so got to see how we do it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm kind of biased, but I think we probably have some of the best here right here in the Midwest. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
Oh, for sure.
right here,
I think
Illinois.
there's definitely little cliques across the country, and I would say that like the Midwest and probably down here in the South have probably got two of the faster racer bases. I mean, there's your little spots like out in California. There's some pretty quick people out on the East Coast and whatnot. There's some pretty quick people down in Florida. But like for a big base group of people, like I think it's your area and my area.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's good.
Yep.
Kevin Smith says loose to start, and if it gets a little groovy through the night, it's good. Natural progression. Yeah, I don't mind a little bit of character in the track. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And as a track owner, I look at it and say, "Fuck." But
Yeah,
as a
true.
racer, I look at it like, well, okay. As a track owner, I also look like, okay, what can I do to address a big groove, or a big rut or something like that that's, coming in
Mm-hmm.
between heats, but leave it until the end of the heats because you can't do nothing in the middle. That's just
No,
the way it
no.
works. I can tell you, Jake's did one hell of a job. He had a pretty bad groove. He runs really, really loose at Jake's RC, which is
Yeah.
cool as shit. I mean, they were up ripping the lip, throwing dirt all over. It was cool, kind of like Slideways does here.
Mm-hmm.
But he had a big groove down at the bottom, and he ended up fixing it and made a really good mains. By the time it got there, we had a really good track. Congratulations to him whenever I went out there this year. Shane says Oklahoma tracks are 200-foot run lines.
Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
we do it big down here.
we're about 140 at
Yeah.
my track.
I think everybody down here just kind of. I think ours was. I can't remember exactly what they did when they first built our track here, but from what I understand, it was like everybody down here goes to the Chili Bowl because it's so close. So it's like, why would we not build our tracks like the Chili Bowl? So we
Right.
can just practice. We can just practice on that all year.
Yeah.
So that's generally, as long as you have the space to do so, that's generally the consensus down here. You build a big track.
Oh yeah.
People like putting a 6.0 in their rig and just ripping.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
a big track's good. I really do. You know what I mean? Like, I would say Cedar Bluff is probably one of the bigger outdoors here, and they
Yeah.
run an amazing program and have a good track. So
Yeah.
it was an old motorcycle track.
Yeah, those bigger areas too just usually provide better racing. Everybody's got more room.
Yeah.
You're not all like we talked about earlier. You're not all fighting for this 1 by 1 foot spot.
Right, and if you can give somebody a groove, right, you can give somebody more than one line. It's great.
But yeah,
A little more volume for us and stuff. I can't, Ryan. I'm up all the way, buddy. For me, I don't know. It's Tyler's pretty good, I think, but mine is up all the way.
I'll start hollering, Ryan. I swear to God.
He's old. He can't hear very good. He's been plowing. He's been plowing snow for days.
been out there escaping the land.
So, but yeah, it's good. I mean, it's Smith says, "Thedens, it's not your phone, it's your age." Yeah, yeah, but it's good, man. I think it's. I think we had plenty of options. And another thing I like about it is if you don't have the exact same track all over, it makes it so much more fun to me to be able to fight that different track.
Yeah, yeah. You want to be able to, get somewhere and try something different. I mean, you don't want to just be a one-man show. Just be only good at one thing.
Yeah, like ours is real narrow, so you got to really lift to get through the corner. In a lot of places you don't have to do that, so it's just different. Not that I planned it, because I didn't even know anybody else had a track in the area whenever I built mine. So that's a whole nother story for another day of figuring out how to make sure people even know we race RC cars.
Right.
Shane Wheeler says bull rings are a blast. Also, Shane, where are you from?
Shane is in, if I remember correctly, he's in Utah now, but he's from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty cool to hear the difference in the areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out how to get. I won't make Chili Bowl this year. My kid's playing basketball, so I got another year of him playing high school basketball. But I'd like to make it out to Chili Bowl in the next couple of years after he gets done and go from there. But
if you've never been, it's a good experience just to do it at least once.
And I wouldn't even go for all 27 days, right? I mean, I can make it a day or two and I'm good. You know what I mean? But But yeah, it's a good time growing the community wherever that is. You know what I mean? And we'll make some summer races this year. We travel all over. I only race 2 weekends a month, so it gives us plenty of time to get out and travel more. So if we're in that, whatever area
we're gonna have kind of approach like that this year for our place. We tend to a couple of years ago we went to like every other weekend, so it gives the racers like time off, especially during the summer. Like people do stuff during the summer. They go to the lake, they go camping, they go do whatever, vacation. Like you shouldn't have to be obligated to be at the track every weekend. So we went to a every other weekend schedule, and sometimes we'll go 3 weeks in a row because we'll sprinkle in a bigger race here and there, but not very often. Maybe like once a month. But I think this year we're going to go to more of a little lighter schedule, so it gives people more time to travel. Also, we're kind of working with a couple other tracks in the state to kind of do a little state point series thing to get people to, maybe some of our locals get out to other tracks, and maybe we attract some of the locals from the other tracks down to our place, and just kind of give people an experience at other places.
Yeah.
Get people moving around. See what else is out there.
There's some volume for you guys. Let me turn that down. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, that's what we did. Well, we have 13 tracks within 2 hours of us. So if we have 13 tracks,
you guys got a ton.
Yeah. So we just pick from our side out. Just start a big circle and is work with as many as we can to get them as close as we can to not stepping on toes, and then roll from there. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, we try to do the same too. At some point, it gets to be where you can't help it.
Yeah.
We've got, or off the top of my head, I think we have 5 or 6 tracks in Oklahoma. So you're talking about a 3-hour bubble if you were to use Oklahoma City as the base, the center of the circle.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you've got tracks in North Texas that are only about 3-ish hours away. There's a couple of those down there. But at some point, like, everybody is always like, well, why did you schedule this on top of my race? And I already had that date. And, it's like, we all race on Saturdays, brother. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
There's 6 tracks. You can't feasibly expect 6 tracks to figure out an entire spring and summer and fall's worth of schedule to where everyone's on different dates. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't do that as much as we run Friday nights. If we're running a club race, it'll be a Friday night.
Right.
Because
I wish we could do that here, but it's just been Saturdays. Decades. So you try to switch to a Friday and everybody's just like, we'll just go race this other place on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do. We let them race on Fridays and then turn around and then they'll have their Saturday. You know what I mean?
True.
If they want to race both nights. A lot of guys can't get away with that. With the old lady won't let them go 2 nights in a row. You know what I mean? Or 2 days. But yeah. And then we don't get done here until, we could have 22 cars here and we not get done until 2 or 3 in the morning because we're standing around bullshitting after it's done racing. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But it's good times. But yeah, we're the same way. We kind of, if we have to schedule on top of somebody and say there's only 4 weekends in a month normally. So you got to. And if you don't schedule on the same guy every time. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to schedule on top of somebody, schedule on top of this guy one time, and the next time you have to schedule on top of somebody, choose somebody different. You know what I mean? Or
we've got, the tracks that are in our area, like we all know when each other are going to have our bigger races. Right. It's about the same time every year. So for somebody to schedule on top of, we try not to go out of our way to schedule on top of somebody else's big race. Like, try to actively work with those tracks to not do that, because most of our guys want to travel to those big races too. So if we're racing, they can't. And even us on the board, like all of us guys on the board, we want to travel to those big races. Like almost our entire board was at Dirt Floor yesterday for the Nationals.
Nice.
So we want to be able to travel to those races, but as long as you're not going out of your way, it is what it is. And like I think Dennis Martinez said, there's some tracks that don't care about schedule of other tracks. You are 100% correct.
Yep.
We have that situation down here in Oklahoma that there's a track that does not care when your races are scheduled, which is fine. That's their prerogative, and they've got their own racer base. That's their deal. I'm not gonna be mad that they're scheduling stuff when we don't pull from them, they don't pull from us. So it is what it is.
The thing is that they're going to have their racer base, and that's probably what they're going to have.
Yeah, it's going to be your locals, and that's it.
Not a lot of people are gonna want to travel to somebody that doesn't help their local out, right?
That's true.
I mean, that's how I look at it. And Dennis, I agree 100%, buddy. There's a lot of tracks that they just throw their schedule up, and here it is. If you don't like it, tough shit.
My God, you schedule on top of one of their races.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
And I mean, I called a track out here about it, but and then we talked afterwards and worked it out. But we're still scheduled on top of each other. There's nothing, you just. My only thing about scheduling is if you're going to schedule it and be stuck. Don't change a bunch of shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
This is your date. If somebody's scheduled on top of you that's bigger or stronger track than you with pulling cars, you suffer that one. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Because somebody, like I wait for everybody's schedule and then I pick dates that they didn't. Because I'm the low man on the pole. I've only been around 4 years and I'm not as big a name and not as big a track and not as nice a facility, I think. And people are like, so I just wait till everybody's done and I pick the scraps. I don't care. And there's only 1 or 2 races that I kind of want, and nobody races on them weekends anyway every year, so
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, it's good. I always think it's difficult in my area. It's got to be crazy up there with the amount of tracks.
Oh man, and just some of them you just can't. I mean, you pick an area and I grab all the tracks that are local to me and work my way out. Kevin Smith says, I would have liked to have done the dirt floor, but living in Tulsa in January already.
Oh yeah, it was pretty cold yesterday.
Yeah,
it was pretty chilly.
Yeah, I bet.
That place. I mean, there was like space heaters inside that building, and that was about it. Yesterday was one of those days you got to really love racing if you want to sit in there and do that.
It's crazy.
Which you can't control the weather this time of year. It is what it is. It could have been 75 yesterday.
Yeah.
Our weather's wild. It's all over the place.
Jared Hall, what's up, Jared? Out of the Oval Office. First time on here too. I host my Labor Day race the same time as the Hell Tour and do just fine. 140 entries this past season. Hell Tour had 170 on the same day. Yeah. A different base there, Jared. You know what I mean? Like, you're far enough away, in all honesty, to not affect a lot of ours, I don't think. Your St. Louis area, which I will try to make this year. I grew up down that way, so I'm going to try to make it down there this year. But I think there's enough people, guys. I did a poll one time of how many. Actually, I did a poll from Live RC of local tracks just to see how many there were. And I mean, on one weekend there was 300 and some outdoor racers out racing everywhere around within a 3-state area. We have enough, guys. 350 people. If you get 150, 125, that's enough.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
for a Saturday race night, that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
we're great with 75 or so.
Yeah,
I'll take that all day. That means we got a decent amount of people, a couple people racing a couple classes each, and then, we're rocking and rolling, and we're done by midnight, hopefully.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of it, right? I mean, we were here till what time was it, guys? 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock in the morning for the fall brawl. 175 cars, but we can't start until 4 o'clock. We can't start until 4 in the evening.
You're an outdoor track. You get it.
But when it happened, I didn't have one person bitch because they knew when 175 cars are on property, guess what we're going to do?
We're going to be there a while.
Yeah. We were betting if the sun was going to come up. And it didn't.
I've done that before. Yep. I've been at a big race and pulled into my driveway at 8 a.m. while the sun was coming up.
Yeah. And that's
I don't like it, but every once in a while that's fine. As long as I'm not doing that every weekend.
Well, yeah, that's just it. We were talking about Ryan was a big part of helping us get all that, the quote unquote mod guys, I call them, and they said the same thing. That once or twice a year, I'm okay with it. I don't want to do that shit every weekend. You know what I mean? So, let's see here. Chris says 25 is not done. You should wait until January and schedule 26 races. Yeah, I agree, but you can't, or you're way behind.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
God, we had a track here in Oklahoma release their schedule in October.
Yeah,
the following year, and we start in March.
We had 5 tracks in this area before the season was over, and they already put
the schedule out. Mm-hmm. God bless.
Yep. But I know there's backstories to it, but
oh yeah,
I don't know. It is what it is.
There's a reason they're doing it.
Yeah.
And everybody knows.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody knows.
Kevin Smith said just shows that there is enough to support a couple tracks. 100%, Kevin. You're right. There is tons of tracks. There's tons of people racing. And I'll be the first to tell you, like Tyler said, 50, 75, I'm happy. There's a couple races. My Shriner race where we give all the money back, I'd like to see a big number there. And then the Fall Brawl, which is our last race of the year, I'd like to see a big number there. That's it. I don't care the rest of them. You know what I mean? Really, I don't. All I want to do is 75, 100 if we get them, and we're done. Get home at midnight or 1. You know what I mean? So, and we've sped up the program, so that helps us too.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith's crying on here about I went from 61 on Saturday, home at 3 today. Well, you shouldn't have went to Gatlinburg. Dustin Cooper says, Kevin Smith, from my experience, you can avoid the Chili Bowl flu by simply washing your hands. The amount of people who don't is disgusting. At least the shootout and Chili Bowl.
He ain't wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
he ain't wrong. The amount of times I went to the Chili Bowl 1 year, the RC Chili Bowl 1 year, and raced, and the amount of people that I saw go into the bathroom and come out with not washing their hands is mind blowing.
Yeah.
And then those people are walking around the pits introducing themselves to people. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
No. not a chance. Fist bumps all day.
Yeah. Yeah. Jared Hall says Moro, Illinois, 30-ish minutes north and east of St. Louis. Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching you, Jared. I know where your track's at. He went through some stuff this year, too, with his track and people, and congratulations on keeping another track up and running down that way, because we don't have much. South of 70, there ain't much. You guys are just north of that, so good to have another track down that way. Kevin Smith says 26 years of the Chili Bowl. I've learned the cheat code. Yeah, I bet you have.
Mm-hmm.
70 to 90 is the perfect amount. Start creeping over 100, guys got to make changes. Yeah, I think it really does a number on the track, and it does a number on the time you're there. Let's get Tyler's opinion of this. So PTs has done something this year.
Yeah.
No adjustments.
Really?
So you go out on the track, you have practice, and you can make your adjustments, of course. First round of heats, you're out there, no adjustments. You 2 or 3 hot laps. Make sure your transponder, line them up.
See, we had thought about doing that down here, like kind of doing like a real race event. You know what I mean? You don't go to the track, you don't go to the World Outlaws event, or even your local dirt track. You don't go out there and you see them guys making changes on the track side. You don't.
Right.
We're the only ones that do that, and we've actually thought about doing that, like having a race once a year, and it's just like, hey, we're gonna give you, here's the track, and we would like have gone into deep conversations sitting around after the races, drinking cold beers, talking about stuff like this, because that's when all the good ideas come up.
Oh yeah.
So it was like we were thinking about just doing like, okay, we're gonna prep the track before the races. We'll maybe make a couple of little adjustments for track maintenance wise in between round 1 and 2, but then we're not really gonna touch it. We're just gonna let the track go, and also no adjustments once races come around, and just see what happens. Yeah. Like, hey, it's like the real deal. You either hit it or you missed it.
So he did it this year, and we kind of figured it up, and it was for a big race, obviously. And we figured it was hours saved.
Oh, for sure, because you don't have the like 2 minutes in between rounds to where you got to let the guys like run like 7 laps, then pull over and make a couple shock adjustments, run 7 more laps. And
yeah.
Oh yeah, I would imagine you're saving a ton of time.
We figured 3 to 5 minutes per round, per heat.
Well, even like yesterday at the winter nats at Dirt Floor, we only ran for qualifiers. We just ran 3 minutes, and you're saving. I mean, we had 35 heats, so you're saving at least 35 minutes per round.
Right.
And we got done at midnight.
Yeah.
So you add that up. That's another hour and a half that you saved.
Yeah. I mean,
little stuff like that really adds up.
But yeah, he did that this year, and I think he just sprung him on in the first race. Said, "Hey guys, drivers made no adjustments."
That's perfect.
And it's worked really well. But we thought a number, when you hit 75 or 100 cars, no adjustments.
Yep.
If you get lower than that, you can probably be okay as long as people aren't ignorant with it.
Yeah.
And go from there. But I don't know. I thought it was a great idea. And we talked about it while I was sitting trackside because I go to all these races and don't race, but I talk to everybody while we're there, kind of like I do on here. And it's kind of a bad habit I have. And the same thing, everybody was like, man, I just can't swing as hard at some stuff because I have to be a little more conservative because I can't change it once I get out there.
So, and you got to think about it too. So is everybody else.
But it worked.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to jump in that boat or get a hold of those guys.
We've talked about it. We might try it. I don't know if we do it for the whole year, but we might try like one race. Just be like, all right, you can adjust on your car practice, but after that.
And like you can in between heats, right? You can whatever.
Right, yeah, in the pits. Do what you got to do.
Do what you need to do. Yeah.
Most people do that anyway. Like there's like if I want to make an adjustment based off my last round, like I'll go back to my pits and like do some stuff.
Yep.
But then you still got that time trackside where it's like, hey, I need a round here, around there. Like, tow me out more here. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes
That'd be cool. I think it would be really cool. I personally would really enjoy it, and there's a handful of guys I know would as well. But then I also know that there's a handful of guys that race with us on a weekly basis that would hate it.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if the same guy that would hate it is bitching because he's there till 2 a.m, here you go. That's your side of it, right? Hey, you want to go home? We're going to do this once and see how it does. Just think about it more while you're in the pits. Let's see what we got in some comments here. Dustin Cooper says, Kevin Smith, I'm not trading dick skin with a very nasty bastards there. What the hell? Okay.
Oh, I think he's talking about the chili bowl where everybody doesn't wash their hands.
Dennis says, Mama gets mad at me when I pull into the driveway and the sun is coming up. Yeah. I'm lucky, Kevin. Or Dennis, I'm right here. I walked in the house at 4:30 that morning, though. I think you were like 6:30 the last race of the year. Dennis says, responding to that, he said, I heard that. I'm sure everybody's old ladies are not happy when that happens. Ryan says, I went the same year as Tyler. 30 faucets to wash your hands and only 2 worked.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem too, for sure.
Quality.
I don't care. I'll stand in there for 10 minutes to wash my hands. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Sam Johnson says, oh, my Lord, it's going to be all about you, bud. Tit for tat, whatever that means. Oh, here he goes. This is going to be a crybaby session here between Sam and Kevin. Jared says, after Cottage Hills, Maryville, and the SMAC track went...
Oh, smack track.
Went down. I took advantage of the situation and started inviting people over to my personal track. I never knew it would have gotten big, but very grateful. This is coming on our 4th season.
What track is that?
The Oval Office. It's just north of St. Louis, north and east of St. Louis. So,
okay, I'm sure Rod didn't know about that one.
Yeah, follow him on the Book of Faces. I've been following you, Jared, for a long, long time. Like I said, I cover you guys every week on car count. So I've been watching you guys, and congratulations on that. We're in our 5th season. Same way. I didn't think it'd be what it is, and here we are shutting streets down and putting food trucks in the street and blocking roads and doing stuff to make enough room in our little town to host everybody. So it's great. Kevin Smith, how many quals at the dirt floor?
It was 2 qualifiers in mains.
2 in mains. Mark says, if you did make adjustments, you went to the back of the pack. So, excuse me, I think it was kind of a courtesy thing, but yes, if you made an adjustment on your car, a trackside, Tom would put you at the back.
You got a tag tail?
Yeah, so. Chris said, no, it should be a DQ. I think in the future, Chris, it's going to start being more if that continues to happen, right? I think as the first season, I think they're going to kind of be a little bit, a little bit more lenient on it, but I could see that becoming even more of a problem. You know what I mean? Or you don't get that heat. You know what I mean? Something. We'll just see how it plays out. ET's crew does a hell of a job with whatever they come up with usually.
I have never heard one bad thing about PTs.
No, I don't think you could find one, honestly. Joe Payne says, how many drivers at the stand to the stand on time? How about drivers to the stand on time? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we give everybody a 2 minute. You got a 2 minute clock from as soon as the last heat is done, and they start to get off the track. You have 2 minutes to get your stuff ready. As soon as that 2 minutes is up, we're lining up and going, whether you're there or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's. We don't really have a lot of problem with that, but I've heard some people bitching about it, and I don't want to say bitching, but just stating the fact that there's some guys that, can never make it up to the track on time.
No, we've got one. It's a running joke. It's the guy that can never make it. And God bless him. God bless him. He's older and has had heart surgery, so we usually give him some time. But my God, he's taking it. You'll be the 2 minutes will almost be up, and you'll just be sitting up in our booth, and we're in a city park, so we're kind of up high in our booth, and you can see everything that's going on in the pits. You'll just see him over there, just hanging out in his pit. Hey, David, are you coming? You're up right now. And he's just like, okay.
Yeah, that's
But for the most part, we don't have a problem with that. Everybody's getting used to our 2 minute clock. Just here we go.
Yeah,
better be there.
We did when I was up at Attitude up in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
They do a cool thing where they call out every racer for the next round too. Not just, hey, Buggy Street Stock, heat 2, you're up. They call by name.
Right.
Which we don't do. We just call the next class or the next race. But it was pretty cool that he took the time to do that. I tried to implement it, but really didn't have my setup the way he did. Mm-hmm. So that made it harder.
You're on Lifetime?
Yeah.
I think there's something you can do on Lifetime where it'll like automatically call out who's in the next race. Like for you. Like the computer voice will do it for you, I think.
Man, there's so much on that shit that
dude, it's a lot.
Nobody knows everything.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And then you push the wrong button and you don't unpush that button, you're fucked.
Yeah. Then goes your whole race format for the entire night. Good luck getting it back.
Yeah. Trace in Lustfield says TK.
Yep, that's one of our locals.
He from Oklahoma area, I guess?
He is from around here, yes, sir.
Welcome to an Illinois podcast, hanging out with us. Glad to have you on here. Let's see. Sam says, never a crybaby session. Kevin knows I love him. I got to bust his chops when I get the chance. Well, yeah, I guess that's what it is, Tyler at TP, if you have a large-ish car count, do you guys regulate or shorten seating rounds? What's your seating format?
We do not do seating.
No seating.
No seating. Nope. You just sign up. You randomize the heat order, and first heat is first qualifying session.
Do you guys run FMAR or do you run race points?
We traditionally have been heads up, but I think actually this year we're probably going to switch to FMAR. Okay. Just because I think it just makes for better qualifying for everybody, really.
Yeah. And then
the racing is fun. I like racing heads up and qualifying. Like it's you get best, like for me, you get best of both worlds. Like you're qualifying plus you're racing somebody, like you're battling for position plus you're setting a qualifying time. So I personally do like that. But like a lot of our classes, a lot of guys, I wouldn't say it's dirty driving, but it's just like everybody's just kind of learning, especially our spec classes, some of our lower level classes, like they're all learning as they go, which is completely fine. You have to have that. But I think it would be just more beneficial if you just took that pressure off of them for racing while they're trying to qualify and just let them, hey, you're on your own clock. Don't worry about anybody else out there. You just turn laps, and whatever you turn is what you turn. Don't worry about whether you finish first, fourth, seventh, ninth. Doesn't matter. So I think taking that pressure off of the racers, especially on a lower level, even at the higher level, I mean, for us outlaw sprint guys, I mean, that just makes for better qualifying for us too when you're on your own track, your own time, your own clock. So I think we're switching to FR this year. I think it should be a good change.
What do you think? How do you resort then?
So your resorts based off of your first qualifying time. So you're,
I didn't know you did random.
No, say you have like 12 guys total in your class. Mm-hmm. So like your top 6 are going to the A sort, and then 7 through 12 is going to the B sort.
That's how we do too. We do it
Yeah.
off your times.
Like I would like to do like at bigger races. Like I would love to do a seating round when we had, I think, the elite race when Tony had it here a couple of years ago. We had a seating round, and it worked out great because there were so many people. I mean, I think we had like just north of 300 entries. So especially in the top tier classes, like it worked out great because you went out and qualified with guys your speed, and it just made for better qualifying. So I think like big events like that, it makes sense. Like stuff like the Chili Bowl, or you're going to have a race that's got 400 or 500 entries. Any of those ones that we have around the United States that pull that many, like that seating makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think at like a local level on a regular Saturday night, like just run them.
But it's also going to be a multi-day event if you do that.
Oh, 100%. You're going to add so much time just doing seating.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I actually went to a track once that did qualifying like big car qualifying. So like you set your stuff down, they're talking about no adjustments. Like qualifying was, I think it didn't count as qualifying, it was seating, but it was seating like the big cars do it. So like they printed out the list of the 40 dudes that were in each class or whatever, and like it was a randomized 40, like wherever you fell, just like a regular pill draw like you would in big cars. And you set your car down, and you got one warm-up lap, and then you got 2 laps on the clock. And it was cool because there was no adjustments and just had what you had.
Right.
And it was cool because it was like the big cars do it, but it added so much time to the race program.
And you wouldn't think it would with just 2 laps, but it does.
Oh, it adds up.
Quick.
It adds up.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about doing the same thing, and then I couldn't bring myself to do it because I thought the same way. 1, organizing it, and 2, time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
And even then, it was only, I think they only did it for Outlaw Sprint at that race.
Oh.
And like I said, it was cool because it was the biggest class and like the fastest guys or whatever. But
yeah,
then you get like I remember that day in the pits, other people that were running other classes were like, "How come we didn't get to do that?" And then you have that whole problem. Yeah.
Chris says if everyone pulls in, then what? What's he talking?
Oh, probably for the earlier when they were talking about if you pull in to do adjustments, you got to tag the tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, how do you do that? You just constantly just restore them to the back, and then the first guy to pull in is going to start out front.
Oh, that works. Ryan says, honestly, Tony, on your show promoting the Loose Dirt Midwest and Tyler backing more of the high bite area the same size with as many badass drivers, maybe we should have a good sized race to battle it out. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Let's go race somewhere. Let's figure out where we're going. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, Chili Bowl every year is where you can figure out where you're at with everybody that's around the country.
But I think you got to do it in 2 places.
Yeah.
You'd almost have to figure out a way to travel 2 ways. You know what I mean?
And try to do it on 2 different surfaces.
If truly Oklahoma area, we'll say Oklahoma City area and North Central Illinois are the 2 spots. Lay them down twice a year, right? One there and one here.
Yep.
Put it out there.
Or you just meet halfway at one track that you normally all don't race at.
Yeah.
Like a good middle ground. I don't know how far are you from like Kansas City?
Yeah, you're closer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I'm 14. So I'm 14 hours from Tulsa.
Woo. Okay, so then you're probably close to like 10, 11, even to get to Kansas City.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, there's a race in Kansas City in August every year that's a pretty good one that draws people from up in your area and people from down here, just because it's close enough for us to.
Yeah. Ryan says, I will wave the flag to go fight at Taylor Park. Let's go. Let's figure something out sometime.
Oh. Ryan liked it down here. He enjoyed it.
And Ryan knows I ain't afraid to travel. I travel everywhere. I don't care. If it's a good time, I'm going. You know what I mean? Ryan says, I'll travel to a Wits race out there at Taylor Park.
Tell the people at Wits to get a hold of me. We can probably figure something out.
Well, Kevin Smith says that's legit. Let's go, Kevin Smith.
I'd love to have you guys down here, man. We try to put on a pretty good event where, our track's in it. I don't know if anybody follows our Facebook page, but like we get a pretty good group of guys, and we pull the North Texas crowd too. So I mean, you could show up down here and race the world champ Nathan Dean at any given weekend.
There you are. Justin Atkinson says I'm always down for a road trip.
Oh yeah, Justin came. Justin came with all them guys. Him, Atkinson, Burmeister, Edens. They all came down for that elite race down here.
Kevin Smith says, I feel like you're trying to get at something. Well, maybe. One of the best tracks I've ever seen, Ryan says.
I appreciate that, Ryan.
And then Ryan says, Kevin, quit jabbering your jaws and go talk to Tyler about this deal.
Oh, I guess Kevin would be the wits guy.
Kevin's a wits guy.
There you go. My DMs are open, Kevin.
There you go, Kevin. Get your shit together. But, yeah, man, I think it'd be fun, too. I think it'd be fun to get everybody together and have a good race, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that was super fun that year. We had that Elite Series here. It was just like we pulled a ton of people from up your way. Like Malakote brought down a bunch of his guys. Like Chad Jones came down with Malakote. The Custom Works guys showed up. So Max was here. Billy Fisher was here. Like it was like a mini chili bowl. It was a damn good time.
Kevin says, Tyler, we will talk. So,
nice.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about. I mean, and it's all about networking. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And figuring out something, but that would be fun to, you know. And I'm all about the rivalries. 100% about the rivalries, man. Ford versus Chevy, right? It's the same thing. I wish we had more of that.
It's kind of like you talked about a couple weeks ago on the big podcast you had, talking about if somebody was to start up another elite style series, you know, would it be successful? I think you absolutely could make something like that successful, but you just have to do it with the right people and at the right tracks.
Yeah, and you don't need that name. You just need something. Right?
No, you don't need that name at all. You need to stay away from that name.
So that's
which sucks because it was such a good deal.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, whatever you do. You know, it's a water on the bridge at this point. Live and learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trace in Lusfield says 2023 Elite Series was a great race. Tons of competition. Yes,
right.
I wasn't there for that. I honestly didn't know much about it at that point because I was new to this deal. You know, I didn't know shit, but I'm learning quick.
It was super cool too because we were like the only southern track. I think the rest of the Elite Series was up there, and it's kind of like it was this year too. We were the southern track, and everything else was up your way.
Yep.
So it was pretty cool.
I assume Jason's one of your boys too. Love seeing El Jefe on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's one of our board members, Jason.
Yeah, nice.
That's my second in command. That's my go-to guy. He's my vice pres.
Oh yeah, good to have you on here, Jason. And we're glad to have Tyler on here, just hanging out. Kevin Smith, what time of the year was Lidgar's series race?
Oh god, I think it was in August, which is damn near the hottest part of the year.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like it was in like July or August. Yeah.
Man, let's figure. Kevin, let's not do that, okay?
It was so hot. I think Edens and Atkinson and Burmeister were pitting inside of a tent that they had a portable AC unit hooked up to, and they just kept the tent closed, the zipper closed the entire time.
Well, here they all are. Kevin Smith, it was very hot, says Atkinson. Ryan says, we raced till damn near daylight. Everyone was happy with it. It was awesome. And Burmeister says 4th of July, I believe, and I think he's probably right with that. I think
it's right around the 4th of July, which it gets absurdly hot down here that time of year.
Yeah, I used to go to Norman, Oklahoma every year for the drag races, and they did.
Down in
August.
Thunder Valley.
Yeah. So the no prep stuff. So
yeah, you've gotten a taste of it.
Man, fuck that. You gotta figure out a better time of the year.
There's nowhere to hide either, dude. We ain't got no trees down here.
Kevin Smith said, that sounds like a Theden's trick. Yeah. The tent inside the tent, Justin said.
Dude, it was slick. I walked in there at one point to shoot the shit with him, and it was every bit of 65 degrees.
So Kevin says, let's do December. Well, man, it's cold there now. They ain't getting none of that.
It's like 23 degrees here today.
Golly, that's pretty warm for here. I think mine just says -2 actual temperature right now.
Hell no.
So, but yeah, that's, Ryan says the AC kind of worked. The generator hated the anthill. Sounds like a rod was going to break every 10 minutes. Yeah. But man, we talk about that stuff all the time. You know what I mean? Like that's the biggest part about this hobby is the dumb shit that we do.
Yeah.
one year, I wasn't involved, but the Munsterman, who's normally on here, Brian and the guys were down at Brad's at BB Mods for a hell tour, and it was cold. They had a portable, like a patio heater, and they had like 5 tents wrapped around with tarps all the way around the tents, just trying to stay warm.
Oh yeah, yep.
But
we do some of that late in the year. We'll race into usually our last race of the year is right around Halloween. We have a really big race to end the year for Halloween, and we've all got the Urmax tents where you can zip up. You can zip up all 4 walls, and it has a door on it and whatnot. And once it starts to get cold, like a couple of space heaters, and you zip all our tents together, and we just create a little hot box. We're not built for the cold down here, brother.
Yeah, I don't mind. I lived in North Dakota for a couple of years, so it doesn't bother me now. Yeah. But that's the fun part, man. That's building the camaraderie and building the people, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the stuff you remember. I mean, here we are 2 years later talking about it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, that would be interesting, man. See if we can get something done where Illinois boys can at least travel out there, and then we'll see what it takes to reciprocate at some point. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how we like to do it. Is figure out a way to make that happen.
JB's been trying to get me to up there to one of those racetracks up around where you guys are at for a while now, which I want to do. It's just finding the right time to do it for me. I stay pretty hooked up with work and stuff.
Ryan says Tyler is not being very honest. We were all tanned and dying. His ginger ass was walking around like it was nothing.
Hey man, it's probably like you guys are with the cold. Like if you put me in the cold, I'm going to be bundled up, brother. But when it's hot, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I live in the South for a reason.
Yeah, that's that's funny. I mean, like I say, that's part of this, man, is just growing it and understanding. That's why we do this every week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been on here for an hour and 42 minutes bullshitting about nothing. You know what I mean? But it's fun, and you get enough guys on here talking about it, and you never know what's going to come up. I'm gonna let you go, Tyler. We'll hang out. If you want to hang out, you can. We're gonna flip over the other side if you got some time. I just got to shut a recording off, and we'll get into the to the deep end of the pool. So that's kind of where things are no holds barred. If you want to stay on, let me know. If you want to bail, and you can.
I'm totally down.
Let me flip it over here real quick, and I'll be right back.
I love treading water.
Deep end of the pool's coming, boys. Let's go.
Oh, I'm fine.
Guys, we're back. Let me fix this mic real quick.
I better grab another Busch Light.
Yeah, you might need it for this deal. All right. Yeah, Kevin says, you stick around, you've been warned. Ryan says, you picked a good podcast guy today. He's full rip on the track, but an even better guy in the pits. Yeah, man. We're on the deep end of the pool, guys, so we all know this is where shit gets real. And the reality of it is this, is I reached out to Tyler and said, hey, bud, thanks for getting on the podcast like I do a lot of people, and said, hey, anytime, I said, we're always looking for, input from around the country, and we're glad that Oklahoma is represented, and to hear from that side of the country from where we are here in the Midwest. So he said, hey, if you ever want somebody on, or you ain't doing that and you want somebody to jump on, I said, let me know what's good for you, And he's got some credentials. He's been around podcasting a little bit, so it's pretty, it's fun, and I said, man, I don't know when we'll do it, but we'll figure something out. And he said, okay, let's do it after the J-Con race this week, and we'll talk about it a little bit. So, hey, let's go,
Right.
So
yeah, it just happened to work out that I went and did well.
That's even better, right? Makes it easier to talk about.
JB was giving me shit earlier. He was like, did you just reach out to him so you could talk about how good you did? And I was like, no, we actually talked 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's supposed to be on last week.
I just happened to do good at the races.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's good, man. I enjoyed it. I just enjoyed doing it. You know what I mean? And when you got somebody else to bounce some stuff off of, and like I say, from a different area, obviously a whole lot more knowledge of it, on this side of the mic. To answer the questions or talk about the stuff, I talk about it from a hillbilly layman side of it that hasn't been around it for 25 years or 30 years, whatever. But which, in my opinion, is a good side too, because I don't know, you know what I mean? I look at things totally different than a lot of track owners because I haven't done it forever. And I didn't even come from the dirt race. I've never been to a dirt track in my life, ever.
You come from drag racing.
Drag racing. So
when you think about it, it's kind of the same thing.
It's all the same thing. We're racing. You know what I mean? Like you're getting to the finish line first.
Yeah.
We used to make fun of you dirt guys and NASCAR guys because you couldn't find the fucking finish line. But I mean, that's the point.
Going all them damn circles.
But yeah, I was a drag racer forever, and then my kids got bored, and I built a track. So Ryan said he's not talking all his accolades. Pro off-road guy and ambassador for AE. Yeah, I mean that's cool. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't go out of my way to tell everybody everything that I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not the type of dude that I am. Like, I'm glad that Ryan put it out there for me. Like, it's not a secret if you know me, but like, I don't ever just go like, hey, like I didn't contact you and be like, hey, here's everything I can bring to the table.
Right.
Here's what I do. Let me on your podcast. Like, that's just not who I am. So it's just like,
it probably wouldn't work out well for you.
Yeah, I kind of got from watching the podcast that you did. I got a pretty good sense of who I was dealing with.
Yeah.
I'm a smart guy. I know. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I can pretty much figure people out pretty quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good until I'm not. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
No.
Kevin says easy. Asphalt is for getting to the racetracks. Dirt. I'm like, yeah.
It's for racing on. That's right. Asphalt's for getting there. Dirt's for racing.
Ryan says you earned it. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And like I said, I honestly didn't know that till Ryan put it out there. I didn't dig on you. I don't care. There's I asked one or two people. You know, I mentioned to one or two. I don't care. I know enough to know you're in the hobby. And you have a good point of view. That's all I cared about. I'm not. I don't do this for the money. I do it for the people. You know what I mean? I want everybody to understand. Talk about people. Talk about it. And the more people we get on here putting comments in and talking about stuff, the more shit changes. The better things happen.
Yeah.
That's what
I would think that had that situation a few weeks ago not happened.
Yeah.
That some of those situations wouldn't have ever been handled. And I applaud you for being somebody that would put your neck out there and do something like that. There's a lot of times in this hobby that people just like are anti-confrontational.
Right.
And you know, there's a number of reasons why that could be, but you know, there needs to be, just like anything else, there needs to be accountability.
Okay.
So, you know, and to have a platform that you can do that on is great.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we pride ourselves on. You know, 100% of where we are. Like, just and this side of it, fuck, you never know what's going to happen. But you know, I mean, even on the other side where we record for RC Underground Radio, Dave and those guys, it's great because they do. You know, that gets out to a few more people and. It's just somewhere everybody can talk and hang out, and you know, it's like sitting at the pit table or at the bar, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't have any sponsors, so I don't have to worry about it. Somebody with sponsors might have to say, "Ooh, I got to watch what I say." And I know there's some guys that, with that deal, that had to kind of be easy, you know.
Yeah.
I don't care. I didn't have to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we used to have. It was funny. We used to have a when I did the On the Tone podcast for a couple of years. Every weekend we would usually try to have it. Got to it at first it started with just the three of us that were buddies that all raced together, and we would just get on there and talk shit, shoot shit, talk about what happened at the bigger races, what's going on in our region, this, that, and the other. And then it kind of took off like just out of nowhere. And like, I don't know if do you know who Mark Santa Maria is?
Yes.
YouTube guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
So Mark started On the Tone with me and another couple of guys. And then me, him, and one other guy just kind of kept that going. And he parlayed that into his YouTube thing that he's doing now, which was amazing. It's great. Because he's just that guy. Like, that's always been Mark. And we started having, it kind of got big, so we started having like factory level guys on. And we would talk to him before the podcast started. And it's like, hey, and we would always have to have this talk. It's like, hey, if we get to, because it's drama. That's what everybody listens for.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
So we would tell them, you know, if we get to a situation where we're starting to talk about something that because of your sponsorships, you would rather not talk about, you just got to say pineapple. So we would have pineapple moments all the time. So we would ask like a hard hit, like one of us would ask like a hard hitting question to whoever we had on, and that person would just be like, pineapple. Just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I know you want to say it, but we also understand why you can't.
And that's, I mean, there's guys that this is, big for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's guys that it was guys that were making a living doing it. So you got to understand that they don't want to sabotage their living.
Yep. And I don't, I mean, that's probably why I don't have that.
Yeah, but then you've got the overwhelmingly larger part of this hobby that doesn't do it for a living.
Yeah.
So why not have a podcast or something that's more for that section? Because that's the most people you're going to reach. Is the other, just I don't know, for lack of a better term, just the common people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And they matter. We talk about that on there too. The people. Every class matters. Everybody wants to talk mod stuff.
Yeah.
But and Ryan's a big proponent of this too. Every class makes a difference.
100%.
Because a track can't stay open on mod racers only.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
And like earlier in the comments section, I think it was Matt Sontag, which is a local guy from Tulsa, from Dirt Floor, that races down at our track every once in a while. He said that we had a really big NAS truck class. We have a NAS truck class down here that started at another track years and years ago and just has always been steady. It's just like a track. It's like an SE. It's a Traxxas short course.
Yep.
With a NAS, like a Proline, or who's the other company that makes one now?
Shark's making one now.
Shark's making one now that we started allowing this year, but that's always like our biggest class. It's always our biggest class. And because those guys just love doing it. And there's no adjustments. You can tune on some shock collars if you want to, but other than that, there's no adjustments. There's hardly any rules for it. It's just like, put this truck body on your thing and just get after it.
All right. Enjoy it.
And like those dudes, like we typically have a street stock 250 that we have every year, where we put 20 street stocks on the track, let them run for 250 laps with a mandatory battery change. And we've been doing that for a handful of years. It's always one of our biggest events. We kind of parlay it into our fall shootout, which is our big fall event. Fall shootout plus street stock 250. We used to pull 40 street stocks. But here lately, haven't been getting that. NAS truck's always been steady. Well, guess what? You guys get what you have earned. You've always steady. We're going to give you guys a big NAS truck race this year instead of our street stock race.
Yeah.
And you have to do things like that. You have to know who is racing there. You can't ever curtail what you're doing on a weekly basis to the fastest guys at the track, because they're going to be there no matter what. It doesn't matter for those guys. You give them a consistent place to race, they're going to show up. But the guys that you should pay particular attention to are your, not for lack of a better term, your lower level classes. Like, not that it's a bad thing that they're lower level, but your spec classes. You keep those guys happy, you're always going to have your constant base. And those guys talk to their other buddies that want to just get into the hobby cheaply, maybe, and tell them what a great place you provide. And they come out and they start racing. Then they tell their buddies, and then you just constantly have an influx of new people.
Yeah.
You cater to all your outlaw sprint guys. You're never going to get more outlaw sprint guys.
Yeah. Well,
you're going to get the handful at your bigger races, and that's about it.
Yeah, because who's jumping into this hobby in that outlaw sprint? Who's jumping in this hobby in an outlaw late model? Nobody. And if you are, you're wrong, right? You shouldn't.
Nobody's looking to drop $2,000 right off the rip.
Yeah, and tear it up the first weekend.
Yep.
Right, and then be in everybody's way, and not know how to get out of the way because they didn't work their way up. I'm a firm believer in start at the bottom and build your way through it.
I think so as well.
Kevin says, so Ryan, you're proposing a TK shootout?
Oh, we can't be putting my name on it.
Yeah, I think that's more than that guy's leading on too. But anyway, Ryan says, I think we can all go midsummer when their schedule is longer. Then for them to come up here in the wintertime, they would have too much going on to make a summer date, and we don't need that either. Yeah, I think, in all honesty, that's how I would work that, and I'm an outdoor track, but I agree with Ryan. We could go there whenever it's not 3,000 degrees in the shade without a tree in sight, and then you guys come up here and run PTs
during like the summer,
during the winter. Yeah. I mean, I think that, or whenever that is, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean, we usually only have it's usually only about 3 maybe 4 months out of the year that are really hot. It usually starts getting pretty warm by the end of May, like Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And then, early August, mid-August, it starts to finally cool off.
And I'm an outdoor guy, right? My track's outdoor. It'll always be outdoor.
Yeah.
But I can tell, I feel like myself that PT's has got the best facility in this area. And I've been to a lot of them because I just go and watch their program. I'm not saying anybody else's track is shit. I'm just saying PT's has a consistent program every time.
Yeah.
And all the normal stuff is there. You know what I mean? Like for this area. So, yeah, I think that would be a great idea.
I would love to go up to PT's.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I mean, Brad's got a great facility. He can run mid-morning. He can get running early in the morning because he's got a roof over it now. The problem is you run into every other track. You got to start in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Or you can't get a decent. You might as well not even run one heat. You start at noon in a regular outdoor track. You can piss away the first heat.
Oh yeah, that's how it is here. Everybody wants to start. They're like, oh, I don't want to be here so late. I don't want to start late because I want to be in and out and this, that, and the other. It's like, you guys got to understand, like, we don't start late in the day to keep everybody here so long. We start late in the day because if we start at 2:00 in the afternoon, one, it's going to be 9,000 degrees and somebody's going to get heat stroke. And two, that we can't maintain the track. It's so hot and it's probably windy here. So it's just you're going to be out there running on a dusty, hard packed track, like where nobody's going to have any fun.
You're not going to get it back by the end of the night either.
No, it's just going to steal off and it's just going to be terrible. But so trying to walk that fine line of, okay, this is our start time because it gives us the best track for our racers. Yes, we're going to be here a little late. It's a balancing act. Yeah, I mean, we don't start during the summer. We don't start till 6 p.m. It's like you've got all day to do stuff. Yeah. All day. Like, go hang out with your family all day. Get to the track at 5:30. We don't care. Yeah. You don't have to be there at noon.
We open at 2, start racing about 4 or 5, depending. Yeah. We have some trees on the west side of the track. Then as soon as they come over the track, we're golden.
Right.
And then once that happens, we can race. But until then, I mean, guys are out there making laps for some reason. And then
it's doing nobody any good.
I mean, yeah, it really isn't. I mean, we can wet the track and you can be okay for a little bit, but
yeah, like 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, we can wet the track literally every 5 minutes and it wouldn't matter.
No.
Jason says Delta Plastics.
Yep, Delta Plastics made a body for a while that we were using in NAS truck. I think they discontinued that Proline discontinued it, so we started allowing the Delta Plastics body too.
Tyler says, sounds like a plan to me for the shootout. We're not going to call it TK shootout. Just going to say, damn you guys, Ryan, Justin, and Terry, Tyler. I'll have my people get with your people.
Right on.
Ryan says, I'd like to get Keel up here or at some point. We have always had the talks, just hasn't fit into his schedule yet. Hopefully one day.
Yeah, dude. That oil field keeps me busy, brother.
Yeah.
I gotta keep gassing everybody's vehicles. I'm sorry.
We appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Randy, what are you doing on here so late? Randy, ain't it past your bedtime?
What's up, Randall?
Randall's on late. What's up, Gary? So, man.
The old Burmeisters are good people.
Oh, hell yeah.
I like Randy and Tyler a lot.
Yep. So, that would be cool. Get something going. We'll figure something out, and you never know what'll happen, But you never know if we happen to be in that area at some point. I don't know if they're racing Tulsa this year or not, but sounds like I'm gonna be going to some NHRA events, so I might be out that way anyway.
Yeah, Tulsa Speedway.
Yeah. Yep. So. Some of the guys are getting ready that we follow through the Street Outlaws gang as they went NHRA racing now. So.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that Sean and them were announcing that the other day.
Yeah, PRI.
At PRI.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all those guys they don't live here anymore, but like him and Justin are from Mustang where I live.
Oh, you live in Mustang?
Yeah, we would see them scooting around town all the time in their cars.
Yeah, they're cool. They're good dudes. I've been, I say acquaintance, becoming more of a friend with Sean for 10 years probably. We've been all over the country watching him race and hanging out with him, and he's become kind of a friend too. But it's cool. I mean, I'm glad they're going to try to do something. Like every other hobby, you just keep on following and see what happens. Any of you guys, we got a few on here. Anybody else got anything for us tonight? We're still hanging out. It doesn't matter. We're just going to bullshit. But if you got something, throw it in the comments. We've already worked up that Kevin Smith's paying for all of us to go to Oklahoma to race.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Private jet. So that's cool. And then, but if you guys got something, jump in here. We'll shoot the breeze about it. What do you guys run for buggy street stock out there?
Just a standard two-wheel buggy.
13.5?
Yeah, 13.5 blinky, no adjustments on the rear toe.
Roar or hobby wing?
It is roar approved.
So we're 13. We're hobby wing.
I think I would like to go to just to make it a hobby wing just stock class to where everybody's on the same equipment, but it's kind of the same thing with spec tires. I don't want to shoehorn everybody into having to buy something if they've already got the stuff to race.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I would love for it to be there, but I think feasibility wise, you would phase some people out because they just don't want to buy
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it gets. And a year ago, it was a lot cheaper to do that. Hobby wings went up $40 or something like that, $50, I think. So.
Oh, for sure.
But that's how they. That's what we run too. But we run everybody around here is hobby wing. Non-adjustable. Yep. And it's probably it's grown a ton here. Mm-hmm. But I think that's also a class that is good for that, because if you go the next level, you're gonna go 13.5, which we all run hobby wing again. I don't care for that in that late model. I wish that would go either 10.5 just hobby wing, or it would go to roar proof 13.5. I wish that would happen here, but it won't. You know what I mean? We're in the same boat. How do you make guys buy a bunch of shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it takes a whole crew to get that to happen. If you don't have a crew of 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 tracks doing it, then one track is tough. We ran that 10.5 last year, and it was really fast and fun. But after talking to the guys at PTs about that 13.5 late model and understanding more and more why they did it, because I'm ignorant and didn't know, they built that class to be able to get guys to understand how to adjust the car without just throwing a bunch of rear toe in it.
Right, and being overly fast to where it's so out of control if you're not used to it that you wouldn't know what a setup change would do anyway.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I get that. I would love to make some of our classes more spec based and slow them down a little.
Yeah.
But our tracks for late model, our tracks too big.
Yeah.
Sure, we could run 13.5 late model if we really wanted to. Our track's just so big that it's okay, you're gonna slow that down too much to where you'll phase out the open late model guys because they won't want to run 13.5, and then you may not get an influx of any lower class guys that want to get into that class. So it may just fit, if we made that change, it could just eliminate the late model class altogether.
Right. Well,
for us personally.
Right. Well, here it helped so much, I think, because it let guys get a place to go besides just jumping into hobby wing or just jumping into mod. So before this came in, you had buggy street stock with a 13.5 just stock, and then you turn around, you have nothing left but go jump right into mod. Mm-hmm. So I think it was a great deal, and it's grown exponentially, both that and buggy street stock in the last couple of years. So I think that's really, really good. So
yeah, and this coming year, we've made the change from going to run our secondary sprint class has been for years. It's been 10.5 sprint, and we're switching it this year to 13.5 sprint.
Slow it down. Yeah.
Slow it down a little bit, and it's just it's more in line with what everybody else is doing across the country here in Oklahoma.
Right.
Just in general. The race yesterday at Dirt Floor for the J Concepts Nationals, 13.5 buggy had just as many as the Outlaw Sprint. There's a big group of people that want to run that sprint class.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it should be you should have something there that's a stepping stone instead of just the big gap you've got from what I started with to open sprint.
Or a comfort zone.
Yeah, you got to have that. You got to have that stepping stone, and I think that even 10.5, it's just getting to the point where it's too fast. I mean, some of the faster guys in 10.5 for us personally at my track are like a tenth off fast lap time than Outlaw, and it should never be that close. It shouldn't be that close at all. It shouldn't really be in the same ballpark. You don't want to you don't want to take like a big step and make a 17.5.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to slow them down that much because that just becomes everybody's going to blow their motors up because they don't know what to gear it. I think you move it to 13.5 with just the way that just seems to be the way that I guess your sportsman sprint class is starting to move is that motor setup. So we're switching to that this year to try to get more people interested in maybe making a jump to sprint, but not having to be, right into open sprint and just because, we've got guys here, like I said, like any given weekend, like Nathan Dean can beat our track.
Right.
You're right. Like,
yeah.
You're going to make the jump. You're going to make the jump from midget to open sprint and race the world champ. Like, that's tough.
Yeah.
That'll make you not want to do it.
Yeah.
So you've got to have those stepping stone classes for sure.
Agreed. Randy says, "Are you going to RC Chili Bowl?" Tyler?
I am not. Nope.
Will not be there.
I went in 2022 and did really well, and I'm pretty sure if I go back, I'm not going to do good. So I set the bar super high the one time I went, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
And he wants to stay healthy.
Yeah, no joke. A week long at the track is just a lot.
Pasley says, "High bike chassis dominate at Taylor Park, yes or no?"
Nope. A little bit of offset works just fine, or straight up car works just fine.
Ryan says, "I've always felt like the biggest bridge gap was us versus Taylor Park." Oops, sorry about that. Group, which includes the region gap. There's a lot of competition between those regions. I think that's right. The way everybody's talking anyway. Seems like that's a fair statement. You know what I mean?
I mean, you go look at just. I mean, if you just want to do where everybody shows up to, you just look at the Chili Bowl the last couple of years.
Right.
You've had. Let's see, the year I went, Ralph won open sprint. He won open sprint, and then you had, if I remember correctly, it was Ralph, and then Grant Rails, and then I'm pretty sure Chad Jones was in there. I was in there. I think I was the only Oklahoma driver there in the main for sprint in 2022. But then everybody else was either from Texas. I want to say everybody. No, I could be wrong. I'd have to look at the lineup, but it might have been me as an Oklahoma guy and then everybody from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Because Malakote was in it, Ed Jones was in it. Who else was in it with me? Ross May was in it. He's from up your way.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like me and then a bunch of Midwest guys. And then the following year, it was, I can't remember if Rails won the following year, but it's typically whoever wins the Chili Bowl is either a Midwest guy or an Oklahoma, Texas guy.
Yeah, that's something to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that shows it right there.
Right. And then you had the invite. They started running the invite stuff last year, and I'm pretty sure the top three were from Texas and California. You had the Leighton from California that squeaked into the top three, I believe. And Hooks was in there. He's Texas. It's always Oklahoma and Texas or the Midwest.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that. I mean, but you race the best, you're going to be with the best, right? I mean, that's
that's something we provide that people like coming to our track for is because you get to race against dudes that have made Chili Bowl A mains.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Kevin Smith says private jet built by the wrong brothers, not to be confused with the Wright brothers. Yeah, Kevin's trying to get out of getting that deal he just put up. I see how you are. Chris Bumgardner, that's one of you guys, I guess?
That's the Velocity guy.
Velocity. Oh, really nice. Well, glad you're on here too, hanging out with us. Who squats more, TK or Austin Smith?
That would be me.
There it is. So, your take on the invite class, Kevin Smith says.
I understand why they did it, but I wish they would go back to open. Just everybody run all together like you did for years.
Right.
Is what it is. You make the main. I think making the main, like let alone winning it, but just making the main event when it was everybody against everybody was a big deal.
Yeah.
And now it is still a big deal to win the Chili Bowl Open Sprint A main, or any open class for that matter. It's still a big deal to win any class at the Chili Bowl, whether it be one of the spec classes or the open classes. It's still a big deal. Do not get me wrong. But like I usually go up on Saturday and hang out and see all the guys that I don't get to see maybe once a year.
Right.
You know, from all parts of the country. Like I talk to the guys from the Midwest all the time, online or whatnot. It's good to see them once a year. Just, hey, how you doing? How you been? You know, that kind of thing. Just hang out, shoot the shit. It's great. It's less stress for me. I don't have to be there all week racing. But like, there was people in the pits last year that were like, so and so is in the Open A main and they shouldn't be there. The only reason why they're there is because all the invite guys aren't racing open. And it's like, you shouldn't be having those conversations.
Right.
It shouldn't be, yeah, you won, but it should just be, you won. And don't get me wrong, like I said, it is still a huge deal to even win the open classes now at Chili Bowl. But it just seemed like before the invite, there was never a asterisk with it.
Yeah.
Which there shouldn't be.
I mean,
it's to open it up. I also understand why Scotty decided to do it.
I mean, an event like that, how can you badmouth it too much, right? I mean, it's a great event no matter how you look at it, right? But, man, if you win your open class, did you really win the Chili Bowl? That's what the question becomes, right?
Yeah, it's
a double-edged.
That conversation was out there at the race last year.
Yeah.
Sure. Which it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. No. It should just be that guy won open sprint. He was the fastest guy this weekend.
Right.
That's it.
Without a question. Yeah. Done.
Which it happened to be a velocity car. No big deal. Just putting it out there.
Nice. Ryan says, I just think that it proves the point of pushing your buddies to the breaking point. Yeah. I mean, that's what the Chili Bowl is about, right? Is just continue to push and try to get people, like, I know there's guys that didn't really want to go this year, but got peer pressured into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just Tyler
that's
says.
It's kind of like the year I went. I got not necessarily peer pressured into it, but it was just like, hey, you've been racing all year a lot, and you've been doing really well. Like, why not go to the Chili Bowl? And I'm glad I did, because I did well at Chili Bowl, probably because I was racing a lot all year.
Yeah.
But, you know, and had a good car under me and had a good program, so it all, you know, everything aligned, it all worked out. But yeah, it's a grind.
Tyler says it just keeps getting worse and worse. Tony will let anyone on the podcast. Talking about Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith says competition is huge, but always want to race the best and get my teeth kicked in by the best.
Yep. A lot of people want to go to the Chili Bowl for that too. They want to run with the best people there, and the invite class doesn't allow them to do that. It's just like, you're running with fast guys. You're still running with fast dudes. There's guys in open that should 100% be in the invite class. But, you know, that was the draw. The draw for me, at least, to go was, I'm going to race against the fastest dudes in the country. Yeah. And now when you go, it's like, I'm going to go win open sprint so I can get into the invite class to race the fastest dudes in the country.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know how long it'll stay that way.
Well, you know what's going to make the change is people doing it, right? People not doing it.
Yeah, you know, it's just like anything else. Like I said when I left my comment a couple weeks ago on the podcast, like, people speak with their wallets.
Yeah,
it's the only time other people listen. You start speaking with your wallet, they will make changes.
Yeah, 100% agree. Now it's an asterisk. Yes, that's the thing.
Which sucks. It sucks for those guys that won. Like, I personally know the guy that won is in here right now, that won last year. And that sucks for him. He's very fucking good. He's very fast. And that sucks for him that he can't be like, I won the Chili Bowl, without somebody possibly going, well, that's because all the fast guys were there.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks. That sucks for him.
Yeah. Well, and it shouldn't be that way. I mean, really.
No.
You know what I mean? But what do you do? I mean,
yeah.
And that's the granddaddy of them all, right? That's the Super Bowl, Rose Bowl, whatever you want to call it.
That's the one. And for the person that wins the invite, like that's a huge deal. Like you're racing the fastest of the fast dudes, like the fastest dudes there is. You're racing against them.
Yeah.
But then it throws off the whole. Like you got to have. It's just like the real Chili Bowl. You got to have everything on your side: luck, car setup, tire prep. Like you got to hit on everything all at once. And it's just like when that happens, it's a good feeling to just be there, like to just be in the show.
Right.
Is a good feeling. And now I just feel like I wouldn't say watered down, but it's just like it's like you said, you've got the asterisk. It's like you made the Chili Bowl A main, but all the fast guys, there's 25 fast guys that would have been ahead of you that are racing invite.
Yeah.
And who's to say that? Who's to say they didn't have a bad weekend? I've seen factory dudes not make the A main at that race. And sometimes shit happens.
Right. That's what somebody said up here too. I think I missed it, but it's saturated.
Yep.
Let's see here. I was looking for it. Ryan says JB eats Snickers upside down so he can feel the vein. Oh, Kevin Smith. That's right above where Kevin Smith said. I feel like it saturates the field to an extent. Yeah. Now the whole invite class is running the shootout.
I mean, there's a handful of invite guys that were run. I mean, even last year, I know one invite guy that ran the shootout.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I mean, there's no rules against that. So
why ain't they? I mean, they're there.
Yeah.
Why ain't they going to run
extra? That's extra track time. Do you think extra track time is going to hurt? It ain't going to hurt.
Nope. Tyler says, I truly wish it would go back to the way it was. I think a lot of people do. The more I talk to people about it, because I'm green to it too, right? So.
Yeah.
I knew they changed it last year, but understanding it more and more as I give a shit. I mean, when you're a small track, you don't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as I learn more and more and figure things out, Ryan
Tyler's,
says, go ahead.
He's got a shoehorn this year because he won Midwest Mod last year, so now he has to run the invite.
Yeah. Ryan says that the sponsors might call it the best race yearly, but I don't think the racers call it that. I mean, it's still the Super Bowl. I mean, no matter how you look at it, right?
I would say it's the one crown jewel we got if you go based off like how we allocate big car racing.
Yeah,
it's the one crown jewel. I don't know that there's another race that's a crown jewel race. Like there's other big races, but there's not another Chili Bowl style. I mean, some of them are getting there, like that big race down in Mississippi or stuff like that. Or it's getting there. I would say it's getting there, but there's currently that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and how do you compare to it? Like, how do you I mean, it takes, I don't know how you could ever build that. It'd take a lot.
Yeah.
So
there's a handful of people on the right track trying to get to that point. But I mean, Scotty knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah,
he's very good at what he does.
Yep.
I mean, it's a big deal. Like when you're there, Scotty calls it the unofficial World Championships of Oval. Like that's just what it is.
Yep.
You're not going to find another race that's going to get, it may still be unofficial, but you're still. I mean, Nathan won it last year, and he called Nathan the world champion. Which, how can you not?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, we talk about on here too. A standings point standings for all the drivers to figure that out. Who is, what I mean? But the reality of it is all we have right now is the Chili Bowl. You know what I mean? That's to say you're the best of the best is you're the Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, did you go to the Chili Bowl? Did you make the AMA? And it carries with you too. Like you can, like for me, like people ask why I don't go back. It's like I've made 2 Chili Bowl AMAs in one try. So,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could go back and win the thing, but I mean, I'm pretty content with what happened the year I went, and I did well, and I'm good.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said,
there's not a ton of people that can say they made Chili Bowl AMAs.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what I mean? Like I've never been. I want to go, but I'm not going for a week. Like Chris says, I'm not taking off a week to go race, so I'll probably never go. I'm not going, but I would go to check it out, Chris, just to see it, understand it, talk to vendors, that kind of thing. I think is probably as key as anything. But
I think if it's feasible for you, I think going once is worth it. Just to go get the experience, just to experience the Chili Bowl. Like it's a cool experience your first time. and it probably is if you could continue to go back, but like, just, if you like going to bigger races, like that's the one. Like it's like you get to see the best of the best in every class. Like even if you just go and race one class and the rest of the day you just hang out and watch races, it's worth it.
Yeah.
One time, at least one time.
That's what I would do anyway, is I would go watch. I don't care to race in anything that big, you know what I mean? But it would be fun just to go hang out, talk to people, hang out with your buddies that are there, and just, enjoy the racing. And like Kevin says, it's 100% an awesome experience. And I think the experience of it is the biggest part of it. And if you're not really into it, don't. You know what I mean? Like, because all you're surrounded with is RC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's everywhere when you're there, from what I gather. From that, you got to really love it or you're going to get burned out on it real quick. You know?
For sure. I mean, I can say from experience, by the end of the week, I was ready to go. I was ready to pack my stuff up and head home.
I bet.
I mean, I did enjoy doing well and getting to run the mains and whatnot like that, but and the A features, but like I was ready to go.
A week is a long time. That's a lot of bullshit. You know? Sam says, I think the words biggest versus best sometimes gets mixed up. The Daytona 500 is the Super Bowl of auto racing, but it's often never the best race of the season.
True. That's a very good point.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I honestly haven't followed it. I probably will this year a little bit just to kind of see how things play out. But Jason Van Ice has been on here and he's won it in street stock and some stuff. And he goes, I raced against the same guys I race with every weekend. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, what's the difference? But, you can get some of the best racing at a small track in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, but you're just not on that stage. And sometimes that stage makes a big difference on the quality of racing because guys get it in their head that they're on the big stage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, you can see some not very friendly racing at the Chili Bowl as well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because you've got guys that like, shit, I'm at the Chili Bowl. I got to send it. I can't play nice here. I got to go. And it, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. I would say it's, I don't know, 70-30, it's usually good. But you've got those races where it's just an absolute shit show. But you're going to have that anywhere.
Yep.
You're going to have that anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, for example, our race last night, the A feature for Outlaw Sprint, probably one of the cleanest main events I've ever raced in. Like, guys wrecked, sure, but it's because the traction was getting really high and whatnot. But, like, as far as people getting taken out, like, none of it. Zero. Didn't happen once.
Yeah.
In the main. And it was, like, that's refreshing because it's not always that way.
Well, we do the same thing. So our fall brawl race started because two of my guys, Jeremy and Scuba, decided that they were going to put some money up for slash races. Slash street stock. They put up money. And then we put up money on top of it for the track. I think the year before last it was $600. This year was $1,000 to win. And we paid down to the A main for a slash street stock. If you got in the A main, you got your money back for entry fee or $20. And then we worked up from there. I think winner this year got like $500 or $600. So, but it's the cleanest slash racing you'll see.
Oh, for sure.
And it's money.
We've done money races here that you would assume are just going to be a shit show. Yep. And they're the cleanest races you've been in.
And why? Why is that? That's why it's called the fall brawl, is because everybody said you better put a ring in the middle of the track because you put money on a slash race, you know what they're going to do. They're going to beat the doors off of it and people are going to be pissed.
For sure.
But it wasn't. It was clean.
Yep. So. The last money race I was in was pretty damn clean.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, we had dash for cashes yesterday and they were clean.
Yeah.
The top six in late model and outlaw sprint got to run a 2-minute dash for cash or 20-lap dash for cash. It was clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's good. It's good that you can still do that. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I think we're going to buzz. It's been 2 hours and 30 minutes. Gary's on here. Hang on a second. It's been over 10 years since I ran the Chili Bowl. Only expectations this year is to have fun and hang out. Gary, that's probably the best thing you could have said.
That's the reason why you should go in the first place.
Yep. That's why we go every weekend to a track, right?
Yep.
I mean, go out and hang out and have a good time. Gary came up here and raced with us at the Fall Brawl. Was glad to have him up here for the first time and had a good time. So that's why we do it every weekend.
Yeah, you're supposed to go have a good time, hang out in the pits with your boys. Like if you go to the Chili Bowl, like try to get, if you like big car racing, try to get some tickets to next door. Go to the actual Chili Bowl, enjoy the shit out of that too while you're there. You got plenty of time. Trust me, you got time.
Yeah.
Make a weekend out of it. Don't just, there's a lot of people that go and they're just like, well, I got to live at the track for a week. You don't. You absolutely do not.
Right. You got time to.
Yeah. If you're racing 2 classes, like you're going to have 5 hours in between when you're running again. Like you can find ways to spend those 5 hours. Like hell, even at the big car, at the big Chili Bowl, you can go and just run through Bender's Row for free and just hang out in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Randy, good night, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you, Randall.
Kevin says, Tyler, we'll get a hold of you tomorrow evening.
Sounds great.
All right, Tyler, we're going to jump off here. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit, guys. A couple of hours of hanging out, bullshitting RC. What more can you do on a Sunday night when it's cold everywhere? So, thanks for everybody that was on here. Tyler, thank you for hanging out from Oklahoma. We'll do it again sometime.
Man, thanks for having me.
It was a good time. Maybe after the Chili Bowl, we'll get together again and do another one and kind of see what everybody's take on that was this year. But
yeah, for sure, because I'll be up there. I'll be up there on the Saturday of Chili Bowl, just hanging out and watching. So I'm pretty good. Also keep my thumb on what's going on. So yeah, for sure. I appreciate you having me on, man. It's a good time.
It's good. All right, we'll see you guys. We're out of here. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to In My Opinion. Don't forget to join us live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central on Kempton Speedway Facebook page. Catch our highlight show dropping Wednesdays on RCU Radio's YouTube, Spotify, and all major platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.